Sleepy town settled for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right. And it's about time that the back porch light comes on. At that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Okay, we're here.
We are here.
We ready? This you added some things. This is
I did.
might be kind of long.
I added all the practical magic stuff because I was like, oh my God, this has no practical magic in it. Like, what's the thread here?
There you go. You got it. I know I was busy editing. I was just there's a
Well,
little bat on my today is National Bat Appreciation Day.
Is
on my
it?
search bar on the bottom. That's so cute.
That is cute.
That's adorable.
And did you know what's coming up? Which is this episode is actually pretty perfect for what's coming up.
Is it Earth Day?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
next Tuesday, I think. That's the 22nd.
It is. And then when this comes out, it'll be Arbor Day.
There you go. I don't know. What is the difference between Arbor Day? Is that just like a day of planting trees?
I think so.
Okay.
Tree Day. Cool,
Tree
cool, cool.
Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Good talk.
Anyway, hey witch hey.
Hey, witch, hey.
I'm Kristina.
I'm Justina.
Welcome to Magnolia Street, your one and only musically inspired practical magic fandom podcast.
Every week, we deep dive on different aspects of the movie and the books, as well as treat your ears to our very own practical magic inspired original music. And we have a new patron.
We do. Is this Lisa?
Yeah, it's actually
It's
an older
Lisa.
patron, and then she like jumped off for a little bit, but now she's back. So welcome back, Lisa. Welcome back to the Wisteria Vine.
Yeah,
Did you see
we
she,
finally got to meet her over there.
She did. She popped on there over there
I'm
and said
stoked.
hello.
She's got a little accent.
Yeah, I don't remember where she said she was from. Do you?
I don't know.
No, I don't remember.
I want to say she's up near you.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Was it like a Boston accent? I don't remember. No,
We're so happy to get
I
to.
know.
We're over there now.
Yeah.
The Wisteria Vine has been full of allergies. Everybody's
You,
getting slammed.
poor you and Lori.
Lori's getting
Oh my God. I feel so bad for Lori. Whatever you guys are taking for your allergies, I hope it works because
Me too. Yeah.
that's rough.
If I'm not paying attention, I haven't taken meds yet. So just I might have to excuse myself and go take some. We'll see.
All right. So if you start zoning out, it's the meds. It's not
Yeah.
not having a stroke or anything. All right. So this week we're kicking off our 5-month mini series, and we hope to carve out 1 week a month or so and dedicate it to an element. So this week we're actually going to start off with Earth because, like we said before, it actually lines up perfectly, which was completely, I think, unintentional, right? Like,
Yes, correct.
it just so happened to line up with Earth Day, which is next Tuesday. I think it's the Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. So that's really cool that it lines up with that.
That is cool.
Another happy accident here on Magnolia Street. I don't know how we always managed to do that. And like didn't we like the Leviathan episode? It was like International Loch Ness Monster Day. Like,
Right? Of all things.
I didn't
Of
even
all
know
the things.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
And then throughout the rest of the week,
Yeah.
I kept marking you with Leviathan shit that kept popping up, like a
That's
song,
right.
and then a mention in a documentary I was watching. I was like, what the hell is happening?
What in the random?
What
That
in
is
the random?
so crazy. That's called confirmation bias? Is that what that's called?
But like, how does that work? Does it mean that you're just aware of it now? So when it
Yeah.
does come up, you're more heightened to it?
I think that's what confirmation bias is. I'm
Okay.
not sure. But is it confirmation bias or are they synchronicities now at this point?
Yeah, because it's frequent.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times.
Like seeing a parking lot violinist on the same day.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna watch that Titanic documentary?
Wait, what? There's a
There's like
documentary?
a new hour-long documentary because I guess recently they had gone down and taken every single tiny little minute photo of the ship
Oh my God.
and were able to like 3D CGI it, not CGI
Okay.
it, but like take a map of it so you
That's
can move
cool.
around it and see like the inside. Kind of like how it's decaying and how it's collapsing
Oh,
on itself.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was
And
coming
another
up.
little segue.
Yeah.
We need to I think we should make our own I Heart Billy Zane flags. Our little
Oh my God. All right. So, sidebar, ChatGPT, I think everybody's doing this. There's a trend going around right now where everybody's making an action figure about themselves, right? And Mallory, one of our good friends and patrons, and she made one for us. And
We're action figures.
our action figures come with a I Heart Billy Zane flag.
They have accessories.
I love it.
I do too.
So cute. Did you see the other accessories? There's like plants and then like a
Kitty cat.
podcast microphone and then some like random like camera equipment. I'm like, okay.
Well, we used to do YouTube back in the day,
That's true.
and we,
Okay. All right.
we're a
It
visual
checks.
platform sometimes.
That is true. All right. I'll
Yeah.
accept that.
I want to make little flags.
That is so cute. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks, Mallory, for making that for
Thanks.
us. That was really neat. I'm loving seeing everybody's action figures.
Yes, and also curious to know because this came up, who would be on our assistant Gillum's Hear Me Out cake?
Uh,
Somebody had suggested Martha Stewart, which
yeah.
kind of is in the vein of what I was thinking. Like, I'm thinking he's into the very like dominatrix kind of woman. Like, he wants to be like, whoosh. He likes it here on Magnolia Street. Like, I'm picturing like the mob boss mama
Hmm.
or something like that. I
Okay.
don't know.
Like Big Ange.
Big Ant.
Big
Oh
Ange.
yeah, from What's Up Show.
Mob Wives? Was it Mob Wives?
I'm thinking of BoJack Horseman. Isn't there a woman in that? That's kind of
Oh,
like
I don't remember. I
that.
never watched that show. But the Martha Stewart threw me for a loop, but then I'm thinking, okay, well, if he's some kind of Virgo or maybe a Virgo rising or something, he's got his shit together, right? He's got to
Mhm.
be some kind of like earth sign to be able to be an assistant and keep things organized.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
guess Martha Stewart makes sense. She's, matters of the home.
I'm thinking like he simps for Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, yes, I could see that. I should have put her on there. I
Yeah.
was just thinking like Hobgoblin. Who's the
Yeah.
Hobgobliniest characters? And I just like pulled like Gollum from The Lord of the Rings and then the Green Goblin and then I think I had like Fiona from Shrek on there and
Do
something else.
you remember Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
There was a character, that kind of androgynous character with the like fishnet stockings and like the crab claws.
Vaguely.
Kind of like seductory kind of
Okay.
looking, like
Yeah.
that's who I'm picturing him going
That's what
for.
Gillum's in. Okay. All right. He needs a
Okay.
woman to whip his ass into shape because he needs to be organized.
Yes.
Right. All right. So, we're gonna dive into the Earth now. So, Earth is one of the five elements, and these are sometimes tied with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, west. And in Wicca and in most neo-pagan faiths, the elements, or the classical elements rather, earth, air, fire, and water. And then there's a fifth element, spirit, which they're all the building blocks of the universe. They're found in everything in the entire world, and they bring about the never-ending cycle of destruction and new creation that underlies all existence, right?
Oberos.
Like a lot of, yeah, exactly, the Oberos. And elements, they're natural, so they can create and destroy. They could be great or they could be, you could feel the wrath, right?
You know what? Okay, I commented on one Backstreet Boy TikTok, and now I got like Nick Lachey or whoever being like messaging me like, "Thank you for following and supporting our thing," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" But anyway, I caught a
Wow.
video of it's Kevin, right? Kevin was like the dark-haired one, like the very handsome one. I thought thinking of Backstreet Boys, he was always my favorite.
I think
He
so.
was talking about like how the Backstreet Boys were always they always thought of themselves as the elements.
Uh-huh.
Like there were the four, he was comparing like the other dudes to the earth, air, fire, and water. And he was like, but I'm not really sure what I was. And he akined himself to metal,
Oh.
like the metal element. And I'm like, bro. So I typed, that must have been the comment. I was like, it's spirit. You're the spirit of the team. And now I can't get Kevin to leave me alone.
You can't get them to leave you. That's so funny.
Leave me alone, Kevin.
When I was a kid, me and like the neighborhood kids, we used to have this thing called Weather Rangers. Because
Mm.
I guess we were really into Power Rangers and like I don't know superheroes and stuff. So we
Yeah.
each like took an element or like a kind of weather, and that was like our power.
What was
Yeah.
yours?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but like we were the Weather Rangers,
I
and
love
yeah,
it.
we used to run around the neighborhood on our bicycles, like yeah, weather, yeah.
You and Justice Tina.
And then I would put rocks in people. Maybe I was Earth. I used to put rocks in people's mailboxes.
Here's a gift.
Yeah, that would make the most sense, I
Crystal.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the elements going into, I guess, the elements and the cardinal directions, we have north, which is the earth, east, which is the air, south, which is fire, west, which is water, and as above, so below, spirit. And I think all of those are represented by I think we're gonna get into tarot a little bit later on, the magician of the major arcana, right? He kind of
Yeah.
embodies all the elements.
Awesome.
He's
Yep.
got access to all the elements. So, but before we get into the element itself, I wanted to discuss Earth and how it relates to the world of practical magic. So let's take a look at how it roots itself in the film's symbolism, the characters and their everyday lives, right? From the
Yes.
rosemary grown by the garden gate to the lavender for luck. Earth is more than a background. She is a quiet and constant force. We talk about ancestral land, grounding rituals, the power of herbs, and the garden as a sacred space. Plus, we will unpack the characters who we think most embody the earth element. So, light a green candle, bury your bare feet in the grass, and join us as we honor the most grounded element of the Owens family legacy. So, Earth is the slow, steady, and sacred force that grounds our spells, connects us to our ancestors, and reminds us that every enchantment begins with intention and the literal dirt under our fingernails, doing the
Hmm.
hard work. In practical magic, Earth is everywhere. If you know where to look, it's in the garden where Sally plants her lavender for luck. It's in the herbs stirred into all the lotions and potions that Sally, that's supposed to say Sally, not salt.
Which we'll get to.
Right, we will get to the salt today, exactly. But it's stirred into all of the lotions and potions that Sally handcrafts and sells in her Verbena apothecary shop. And in the tiger's eye stone that protects Jillian along her astral projection adventures, which we're gonna get into that too, and the hearth that holds the family together. But Earth is more than an element. She is the silent witness to centuries of Owen's women tending, healing, growing, grieving, and a lot of grieving, right? But also a lot of surviving. They're all survivors in their own right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some herbal magic and practical magic. They use plants as allies, not props. I mean, of course they probably have like beautiful like bundles of sage and like lavender hung from their
Yeah.
hearth, but they actually use these plants in their everyday magic, whether it's magic or whether it's mundane, a little sprinkle of lavender in their tea to calm down. It's all the element of earth. And in practical magic, nothing is accidental. Not the color of the kitchen, not the shape of the moon, and definitely not the herbs. So
Hmm.
let's start with rosemary. We hear it in that final line, the one that lives rent free in every witch's heart, right? Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder, keep rosemary by your garden gate. It's not just a garnish, it's one of the oldest protective herbs in magical tradition, known as the herb of remembrance. It's used for warding, purification, and connection to ancestral memory. By placing it at the garden gate, Sally isn't just decorating, she's casting a perimeter spell, anchoring her home in protection and memory. And it says, "This is sacred ground. Nothing dark gets past this threshold unless Jimmy Angelove comes knocking at the door, you know?
Yeah.
Unless they actually bury his body on their property, which they did. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, yeah. And then there's lavender, right? Sally says she plants lavender for luck, but lavender does so much more. It calms, it soothes, it heals. It's a balm for grief and a lullaby for the nervous system. And when you're a woman carrying the weight of a generational curse, luck is just a code for hope, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And lavender in practical magic represents the quiet resilience of the Owens women. It's tucked in the garden like a prayer. And when the aunts use it in their teas or sachets, it becomes a love letter to softness in a world that wants witches to be sharp edged, right? We're always like so looked down upon and like people think it's like this evil thing. Really, we're just
We
tending to our gardens. I think I posted an Instagram story like yesterday that was like, people telling me I'm gonna go to hell for witchcraft, and the video is literally just a girl in her garden, and they're like, and
just
it's like
me
this
over here
this is the witchcraft, just me
talking
and
to
my garden.
worms.
Exactly, me and my garden,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we have to have that thick skin after so long of,
Right.
the generational. We have our own generational witch wounds,
Yeah.
so that I really like the way you put that.
Yeah, we did a rosemary episode, we did a lavender episode, we also did the Rise of the Divine Feminine episode, which kind of goes into all of like that, trying to rise above those generational curses
Hmm.
and just dealing with all that for the centuries that women have been persecuted and having to deal with all that. So
Hmm.
check out those episodes. And we also have the next thing we're going to talk about right now, a Belladonna episode, right? That was a bit earlier on in our repertoire, but
And if you're looking for that one, is it under Belladonna or is it Nightshade?
I think it was Belladonna. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Okay,
It might
cool.
have been Belladonna slash Nightshade. I don't remember how we labeled it. But the Belladonna kind of represents the darker side of the garden, right? We have the rosemary and lavender, which is like light and fluffy. But the Belladonna, it could be deadly, right? She's the femme fatale of the apothecary world. Beautiful, mysterious, and dangerous in all the right ways. Used in flying ointments by witches of old, Belladonna walks a tightrope between medicine and poison. In the film, Sally mentions to Gary that it's a sedative. People put it in their tea to calm down, which is true, but the herb can also become a literal weapon when used in excess, and it becomes a means to end Jimmy Angelo's hold on Jillian, right? They give him a little bit too much and then he dies. But even more symbolically, Belladonna is a mirror. She shows us that all power is neutral. What matters is the intent, right? Like, you could look around your house, anything could be a weapon, right?
True.
Literally anything. But, like, it's like how you approach it. Like, it doesn't have to be a weapon. You could
Hmm.
approach it with softness and, it won't kill you, but you do
A
it.
love letter to softness, as you said.
Exactly. It's all about the intent. Belladonna is the reminder that witches work with nature, not above it. Every ally can become a threat if we forget to respect the balance. So, no, these herbs aren't just background dressing, they're spells in plant form. They're the film's way of whispering, you already have everything you need. The garden is the grimoire. So, listen closely, and the earth will teach you how to heal.
Mm.
So that's just a few of the earthy herbs in the film. There's a few more that I wanted to touch on though. So the rose petals in Little Sally's Aunts Midnight love spell. I think this is such an interesting spin on the element of earth because in this instance, and then again with the leaf at the end of the film, Sally uses the element of earth, but it's juxtaposed against the element of air, right? Because she uses her magic for the air to carry away the earth.
Hmm.
So it's like those two elements go hand in hand for her. That's just what I've kind of acknowledged anyway. And then the mint that Sally adds to Michael's favorite oatmeal shaving cream that he couldn't stop eating. And also in whatever herbal concoction that Sally is making to cure her hangover the morning after the Midnight Margarita scene when she asked Kylie to go get the mint from the garden. Sally seems very drawn to mint for things. And then also, herbs are very prominent in the herbal syrup concoction that Jillian and Kylie are prepping to send Gary away. So go listen to our Nigelis episode, because we also
Hmm.
did an episode all about that. There was also, didn't she mention another herb in that scene? And we were like, why does she mention that? I couldn't remember
Oh,
what
was
it
it like
was.
milk thistle?
Maybe you're right. I think you might
Something
be
like
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So those are just some of the other herbs used throughout the film. I'm sure I'm missing a few. Were there any that you could think of off the top of your head that we didn't hit here? Herbs anyway.
What does Franny tell Kylie? Let's go to the greenhouse. And what is she?
Oh, mugwort.
Mugwort. Yeah, she
Right,
talks about
yeah,
the
when
mugwort, fix that right up.
exactly when they're trying to fix the bruise on Jillian's face, a little
Yeah,
mugwort will fix that right up.
many, many, many a botanical episode. But
Right.
some of them are just from the books, some of them are in both. So
Yeah.
that's what I can think
I
of.
didn't even like touch on the books in this episode because I'm sure like the earth is just all throughout all the books.
Yes. Yes.
So it's hard to kind of pinpoint any certain instance. But the movie's short, it's concise. So I was like, let's pick out some of the, herbal references in the film because it's a
Perfect.
lot easier to kind of like sort through.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody has anything that they would like to add from the books, feel free to email us, magnoliastreetpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're listening to this episode on Spotify, down below there's a comment bar. You guys can weigh in on anything that you want to weigh in on
Mm-hmm.
about the episode. So feel free to do that. We love reading them and we'll probably definitely read them on the next episode. So aside from the herbs, though, themes of the earth element are very prominent throughout the entirety of the film. It's in the salts that they're pairing with their midnight margaritas, which is also salt is a protective and grounding agent, which we're going to talk more about that later on. It's also in the chocolate that the aunts are always eating for breakfast and probably lunch and dinner, right?
Yeah.
And do we remember our conversation with Krista Rimmer on our episode about the Claires when she was telling us if we want to ground, just eat a piece of chocolate,
Hmm.
right? Perhaps that's why the aunts, they not only ate so much chocolate on their own, they also made sure it was a part of the girls' everyday diet and regimen. Because it was more than just a sweet treat, it was a grounding agent. So we're going to get into that later on too.
They're
I
doing
had
high magic. They need to be centered for
exactly
the rest of their day before
right.
business hours start when that light goes on.
Right. And like when we also did a chocolate episode. Go listen to that too. When we did our chocolate episode, I don't think the light bulb went off for me because like I didn't know that chocolate was a grounding agent until way later when we talked with
Same.
Krista. So I don't
Yeah.
even think we talked about chocolate as a grounding agent in the chocolate episode.
That
But we're
was
gonna
episode 36, and that was probably one of the bigger, like, whoa, like our show is about to get really deep here. That
right.
because we had to go back so far because it's such an ancient, like, sacred thing,
Yeah.
right? So that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I didn't even put the two and two together, like why the aunts would eat so much chocolate. Like, yeah, they're indulgent, okay, but maybe there's more of a reason to it. And the light bulb didn't click for me until I was doing the notes for this episode. I was like, holy shit, maybe they're not just eating chocolate because they love chocolate. Maybe they're actually, it's serving a purpose, a magical purpose here.
Their practice, yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to talk more about the chocolate as a grounding agent later on. And the next one is not as herbal, but it's more of a symbolic gesture toward the Aunts being witches for hire. In the film, we see a literal exchange of cash when Irene comes to the back door begging for their services, right? She throws the wad of cash on the table. And in the tarot, matters of business, finance, and practicality are represented in the minor arcana by the suit of pentacles, which represents the element of earth. And we're going to talk more about the tarot later on. Also, this can be represented in the film by Sally and her Verbena Apothecary business startup. Sally is the small business owner in the film, the ethical one anyway, because we know the aunts probably, yeah, they're taking cash under the table. They're not paying taxes on that. I think this is why Sally is also a Virgo, which is an earth sign, because she's so grounded not only in her home life. We know her as this homebody who basically is she's tethered herself to Magnolia Tree, but she's also very grounded in her business, and that's a big part of her life for a lot of the film anyway, after Michael passes away. Another way the element of earth shows itself in the film is Jimmy once he's dead, right? And they literally bury him, and then he manifests as a toad who slithers and slimes through the mud in their garden. And I have more on this in a moment, but we're gonna get through the rest of these bullet points. The next one I have is another symbolic earth moment when the feet hit the ground, which kind of bookend the film really nicely. In the beginning, you have Maria's feet hitting the earth when she jumps off the gallows and the rope breaks. And at the end of the film, it's Sally's and Jillian's feet that are hitting the ground when they jump off the roof on All Hallows Eve.
I don't think I ever realized that there's like a little poof of smoke when they hit the ground.
Both times for Maria and the girls.
Oh, really? I didn't notice
Yeah.
the Maria one, but for sure with the striped socks at the end.
Yep.
But that's so funny.
Isn't
Okay.
it? I didn't realize that till last night when I was like, oh shit, that happens twice in the film. Because I was trying to think of like scenes where they were grounding and like feet touching the ground. I was like, okay, obviously Maria, and then oh my god, the girls at the end when they hit the ground.
Mhm.
I'd never put two and two together as like bookends of the film.
Now it's our job.
So yeah, so I wanted to explore that a bit more and what that might mean more symbolically. So let's start with Maria Owens, the matriarch, the ancestral matriarch anyway. She jumps from the gallows, abandoned and condemned, but the noose breaks and her feet slam into the earth. That moment is violent, miraculous, elemental. This is the earth. She's literally touching grass. Her feet are bare in that scene. It's not just that she survives, it's that the earth catches her. It becomes her salvation. It's as if the land itself refuses to let her die that way. And in that moment, she plants a legacy.
I wanted to say if you want to tie it to the books and the
Yeah.
reason the rope breaks, I don't know if you listed this.
The salt, right?
The salt.
The salt.
From the sea helped to like break away those rope fibers, and that's why it broke. So
That
Earth
is-
again.
That is right. Yeah. 100%. Her survival roots a bloodline of women who will forever carry that magic in their bones. And that stomp into the dirt. It says it's a curse. That's not the actual curse, but it's a claim. She doesn't just survive, she grounds herself in defiance against the patriarchy, against the system. So
She's in offense mode now.
yeah. And then she plants her roots. They don't really say how she's able to build this mansion in the movie. You know?
We see her shack being built.
Yeah.
And but we get the backstory from the books. But yeah, we don't really know.
Yeah.
We don't really know in the film.
I'm wondering, do you think they're going to go into any more of that backstory in the second one?
That would be so cool.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
I know.
So
Yeah.
cool.
To think about the directions they could go. But yeah, her survival, it roots this bloodline. So let's fast forward to the final moments of the film. Like once, we see Sally and Jillian, they've gone through their whole character arc, and now we're at Halloween. And they're jumping from that roof, and Sally and Jillian leap. And again, their feet hit the ground. Only this time, it's a choice, right? It's not a matter of survival anymore. Like this time now they're celebrating that their bloodline is free, no longer burdened by this curse. It's more of a joyful, grounded return. They're not falling from execution. They're descending into their power, witnessed and welcomed by the town who once feared them. From Maria's forced fall to Sally and Jillian's playful leap, right? They more like float down, like
Hand in
gracefully.
hand.
Exactly. We see the arc of the earth as witness, protector, and portal. The ground that once caught Maria in sorrow now catches her descendants in celebration. There's more triumph behind it now. Symbolically, the earth element is all about grounding, ancestry, safety, home, and legacy. So when their feet touch the ground, both times we're seeing a magical transaction. The land receives them, and in doing so, it honors the transformation of their lineage from persecution to empowerment. And it's the earth saying, you are home now. Like, you don't have to worry anymore. This earth here that the Owens family, the lineage over a course of time, it's here to protect them and back them up in any way that they need in their magic.
That's how I always try to explain my path. The first thought that comes to my mind is like, I take care of the land because it takes care of me. And I don't know any other way to explain it, but I like seeing magical transaction. That's, I think, a perfect way of saying it. Like, we have everything because of this planet. You
Yeah.
know, why not give back to it what we can? And sometimes that can just be our energy. You know, yes, we're grounding into the earth, but you can not just receive that grounding, but sending your good intentions back into this dying planet that we're destroying, you know?
I know. It's the little things that we can do. Because, like, it's so easy to feel out of control because we're just little ants in this, like, big ecosystem. But it does send out ripples. The little
It
things that
does.
you can do in your own garden at home does send out little ripples back into our Mother Earth. And it is very overwhelming to kind of, like, carry that burden for, like, the entire rest of the planet who doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
But, like, if you could just spend a little time out in your garden and, yeah, putting your hands back into that soil, planting the stuff in your own garden, it is a nice way to kind of like feel like you're giving back anyway, even though maybe it's on a small scale, but every little bit counts, I think.
There's never been a day I regret being outside.
Right.
You know, unless I got poison ivy that day. And then I'm
Or
like, well,
you're cleaning your
goddamn, at least I had a
gutters.
good time.
Poor you when you're cleaning out your gutters and your hives start flaring up. Oh my
I
God.
regret that. No, there's, I think, choosing to soak in that sunshine
Yeah.
and be with nature. That's the way to go.
Exactly. So moving on from that whole grounding segment, I guess with the feet touching the ground, we've talked about Jillian, right, at the end of the film before. We've talked about her quite a few times about the scene, literally holding the radishes, a root
Mhm.
vegetable. She's reestablishing her roots more symbolically on Magnolia Street as a place that she can now call home again. And she's literally planting her roots back there. And we see that at the end of the film when she's holding those radishes, and like it seems like such like a random vegetable like to be planted, but I guess when you look deeper into it and find all the connections that we found and like why would she be doing this at the end of the film, like it's so symbolic. She's been untethered through the entirety of the film until now.
I think it's because it's such a stark contrast from what we have seen. And
Yeah.
I don't think we see her working with the earth
Right.
besides digging the grave for Jimmy. So that could be like a traumatic thing too. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with the garden because my ex is out there. But now she's back and she has this root vegetable and she's giggling because she's happy for her sister and she's
Yeah.
finding her way again. And it's so
Yeah.
pretty. It's so beautiful.
You said something interesting. You said Jillian doesn't work with the earth. She doesn't in Sally's sense, but
Right.
Jillian actually does work with the earth, which we're gonna talk about
Okay.
in a bit.
Yeah, I was trying
Yeah.
to think like besides this, we don't see her physically holding any like botanical, right? Or
Not
do
botanical. Not a
Okay.
botanical.
Okay.
Is it clicking for you at all? Like what it might be?
No.
No? You're gonna be like,
We're not there
oh,
yet. Let me be surprised.
okay. You're gonna be like, why didn't I think of that?
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't wait to talk about that. But before we get into that, though, we're gonna talk about the Jimmy Earth connection a little more in depth. So Jimmy Angelov's entire post-death arc is dripping with earth energy, and not in the peaceful, nurturing way that we usually associate with the element or that we've kind of talked about thus far about how the
Mhm.
Owens women use the earth,
He's an
right?
earthquake.
He's a literal earthquake.
Right.
Yeah. And in his case, earth becomes a womb and a tomb.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
like that.
like that.
A mirror and a reckoning. Blah, 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 blah. So let's unpack this, okay? So Jimmy Angelov and the element of earth. When the ground refuses to forget. After Jimmy dies, his body is returned to the earth, literally. Jillian and Sally bury him in the garden among the herbs and the roses that oddly bloom out of season. They bury him, and it's a hasty, desperate act meant to hide the evidence and to bury their own guilt. But in witchcraft and folklore, the earth doesn't just absorb, it remembers. Okay? So let's look at the earth moments that follow. So first, let's look at the burial, the earth as a witness. Burying Jimmy in the garden isn't just about disposal, it's about entanglement. They choose the most magical patch of land they have, a place filled with living things, and a space where intentions take root. In this moment, Earth becomes both a cover and a consequence. And the garden, usually a space of healing and growth, becomes contaminated by that trauma, not just of, the abuse that Jillian was enduring during her relationship with him, but like the actual act of murdering somebody twice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that comes with a lot of emotional trauma and baggage. So a literal seed of violence is now planted here in this space on the
Yes.
property. Okay, so second, we have the roses that bloom. This is using the earth as a mirror. After his burial, roses bloom, suddenly, unnaturally, out of season, but beautifully over his grave. This is classic earth symbolism. What we bury takes form. So the rose, a plant tied to love and beauty, is now growing from the remains of abuse and control. It's poetic. It shows that earth doesn't lie. She'll grow whatever you give her. If you plant pain, she'll give you beauty with thorns.
Yeah.
Isn't that deep?
That's fucking metal.
That is metal as fuck.
And do you remember the first idea I came to you with as far as our concept music? And it was from the viewpoint of the roses,
That's right.
right? And the very first line I had, I didn't get too far in this, but since then there's a little more. But the first line, if I were the roses, it starts by saying, I saw the light in your kitchen and I knew the moon wasn't lying. I
Mm,
heard the night stop its singing, your call to keep a secret sighing. And like that earth is just like zip, is
uh-huh.
going to keep his mouth shut until the proper time.
Right.
When Gary is approaching. There's another line in there of like his bones will make our beauty grow or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a very macabre kind of song, and I want to get back to doing that one.
I think we should bring that one back out, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we should do a song episode on it. Just like, I know it's not a finished, song. It's like just
Wouldn't it
an
be
idea.
cool to have like a brainstorming episode how we go about making our songs?
Ooh, that would be
Like just
fun.
a live song concept,
We've never done that before.
No, we haven't.
That might be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the roses blooming is kind of that mirror, right? The dead body seed that they planted is now growing into like, tragic beauty.
Yes.
Yeah. So next we have the toads, right? The toads appearing is using earth as a medium. When the toads start coming up, spitting up Jimmy's ring, acting as messengers between the underworld and the living. Toads are deeply earthy creatures associated with the swamp, the shadow, the liminal space, the in-between. In folklore, they're tied to both witchcraft and transformation. Go listen to our toad episode. It's fucking
Is
crazy.
juicy.
It is juicy. Here, the earth doesn't just hold Jimmy's body, it begins to literally regurgitate him, kind of how the toad burped up the ring.
It doesn't want him.
Right, his boots are coming up at the ground, out of the ground at one point.
Yeah, get this poison out of me.
Right. This kind of says you can't bury this, not yet anyway, right? It's kind of like holding the girls accountable for their actions, but in like kind of like a more sneaky way. Number 4, the lie and disillusion. The earth as an alchemist now at this point. So at the climax of the film, the women, after they expel his spirit from Jillian, right?
Uh-huh.
When the women pour the lye over his corpse, a chemical meant to dissolve what the earth refuses to take fully. Lye is corrosive, violent, and transformational. It's a man-made intervention, a final attempt to sever the energetic tie between Jimmy's spirit and the physical world. It's as if the earth needs help digesting him.
Oh, it's their
Not
tums.
It's their tums.
Lie, Earth's Tums is a new shirt. I don't know.
Right. Not because the earth is weak, right? It doesn't need help digesting him because she's weak. The earth needs help because his energy is so unnatural that it lingers like a curse. Probably even worse than the curse that Maria had over this family for centuries.
Hateful.
Very,
Spiteful.
yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that before they dissolve him with the lie, shortly after they exorcise his spirit from Jillian, like when they're standing in the circle of the brooms, you see his spirit go toward the ceiling, and then his dust, his spirit dust falls back, drops back down to the ground, and in this cloud of dust smoke. And one of the aunts says, I don't remember which one it was, ashes to ashes, ladies.
Yeah, I think it's Franny.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Franny says goes ashes to ashes, lady. The phrase ashes to ashes, dust to dust originates from the burial service in the Book of Common Prayer, which is used by the Church of England. While not directly from the Bible, it draws inspiration from biblical texts like Genesis 3:19, which speaks of humans returning to the dust of the ground. And the phrase is used as a visual reminder of the body returning to the earth and a reminder of our mortality.
Mm.
So he's finally being put to rest here, and then they sweep his ghost dust remains back out to the garden and before they put the lime and lye on him. And then we have the ring returned. The earth is now being used to symbolize closure. Once Sally receives the letter of absolution from their crime, there's this quiet, powerful moment. I think Jillian tosses Jimmy's ring back into the soil. This is more of a ritual. It's symbolic. They are returning his claim, his mark, and his curse back to the earth, not as a secret this time, but as a release. The ground that once held Jimmy's body, it now becomes a site of reclamation. The earth doesn't just bury the past, it transforms it. It holds the truth without judgment and waits for us to make peace with it. And then the girls do make peace with it in that moment. And then we have a final reflection. In Jimmy's storyline, the element of earth is not just passive, it's active, responsive, and reflective. It teaches us that trauma doesn't vanish when we bury it, and that the earth will always bring it back to the surface until we tend to it. And that healing isn't just about growth, it's about composting what no longer serves us. And Jimmy's burial is a curse. The garden's transformation is a consequence, but the ring's return, Jillian throws that ring back into there, saying, "We're releasing this," that's choice.
Just like their jump.
Yes. So I just thought the whole Jimmy arc, even after he had already been dead and buried, it encompasses that earth element really
Totally.
nicely.
Yeah.
And then a couple other mentions of earth in the film are, or not a couple, I just have this one, the phone tree, right? And we talked in our tree episode about how trees literally communicate with one another through their roots. And the phone tree is a literal form of communication between parents and the PTA, and right? Who gets.
That's my favorite little nugget of
Uh,
trivia is that trees are sentient. I
yes.
included that in the story I'm writing.
Okay.
And like, that is so amazing
Yeah.
that they're sentient. I mean, we are a blip to them, but that's why it makes it so important to be kind to the earth. It knows, it
Yeah,
remembers.
it does
Yes.
remember. So
Yeah.
that's what I had as far as, I guess, little moments throughout the film that kind of hold that earth energy. I did pull out some elements from the book that are more associated with the elements of earth. I guess we'll just go chronologically. So this, starting with the first one, Magic Lessons, Maria Owens' story, and that's the roots of the Owens bloodline. So some earth themes from this book are ancestral grounding, herbal lore, survival, and soil-based magic. Maria's connection to the earth is foundational. Her magic is learned through her bond with the natural world. She collects roots, plants, herbs, and learns healing through dirt under the nails witchcraft. Earth is also symbolic of her lineage. Her magic is literally passed down through the land and sometimes buried in it. She buries her floorboard charms and rituals into the foundations of homes, literally planting magic into the earth for protection. And her journey through hardship is deeply tied to survival, both emotionally and physically, through the knowledge of the natural world. Earth becomes a source of strength, stability, and sovereignty. Themes of seed magic, graveyard dirt, salt circles, and burying secrets are prominent here. In the second book, Rules of Magic, and this is Franny, Jet, and Vincent's coming of age story, the Earth themes in this book are boundaries, stability versus rebellion, and returning home. The Owens children are raised with rules intended to protect them, but Earth teaches them grounding through breaking them. There's an earthy tension between cosmic forces and practical restraint, particularly for Franny, who is most associated with order, home, and the family garden. The family home in Massachusetts becomes a kind of a sacred ground, a place the Owens are always drawn back to. It represents sanctuary and return to roots. Kind of like Jillian in the movie, right? She goes back to the Owens home because she's returning to her roots. And then Jet's heartbreak and Vincent's wandering both pull them away from Earth, which is the stability, but they eventually crave that grounding sense of belonging. And then the garden and apothecary magic again play an important role, especially in how Franny continues Maria's legacy of earth-based remedies, and kind of like how Aunt Isabel passed on that soap ritual to Franny.
Yeah. I think in the story, like Vincent and Jet are so lost.
Mm,
Jet and her grief, and Vincent just trying to like figure out who he is and why he
right.
feels the things he feels.
Right. Which one was the one that had the attached or the connection with the birds? Was that Franny or was that Jet?
Yeah, that's Franny.
That was Franny? Okay. She's got like a earth air balance kind of
Mm-hmm.
going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to practical magic, going chronologically, it's the third book, and this is Sally and Jillian's story, and this is legacy, grief, and healing. And some of the earth themes here are grief, burial, resurrection, and the return to self. Earth is extremely symbolic here, especially in the burial of Jimmy in the garden, like the movie, which literally and metaphorically plants a curse. The rose bush that grows where Jimmy was buried is a haunting yet beautiful example of Earth responding to magic, grief, and wrongdoing. So the aunts use earthy indulgences like chocolate brownies to comfort and ground the girls, a subtle nod to Earth's nurturing, sensual side. The ultimate lesson is about accepting their magic, which also means returning to their roots, family, the Owens home, and the garden where both curses and cures are born. And then lastly, the last book of magic, is the generational reckoning and healing story. And some of the earth themes here are ancestral reckoning, healing lineage, death, and rebirth. The earth is both grave and womb in this final book. Jet's death early on is a powerful reminder of our return to the soil and how death becomes the catalyst for healing. The family returns to the Owens property, grounding themselves in ancestral magic to confront and end the curse once and for all. The theme of unearthing the past, both literally, as in buried objects or secrets, and metaphorically, as in ancestral truths and emotional trauma, is strong. There's a full circle moment with Maria's magical practices returning to guide her descendants in earth-centered rituals that offer closure and healing. And Kylie's journey also symbolizes a young witch planting new roots, redefining how to live with magic, grief, and love all at once.
And they're literally going back to their motherland of
Right.
Essex, you know?
Their
Where they
actual
really,
roots.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. From Maria burying charms in the soil to Jet's final grounding presence to Sally's struggle to stay rooted to Kylie and Antonia's chance to plant something new, Earth is not just an element, it's the inheritance, the weight, and the medicine. So I wanted to just like mention Samuel Diaz's connection to trees in magic lessons. He's the one that was gifting Maria these exotic plants and these trees as a symbol of his love and affection to her. And he plants basically the first, quote, roots on what eventually becomes the Owens mansion on Magnolia Street, which blesses the land and foreshadows generations of witches to come. The Owens bloodline that goes for centuries after that. Not to mention, Maria has the Owens mansion built out of several different types of wood that are used
Mm-hmm.
for its construction, right? So I thought that was a really cool way that Alice incorporated the element of earth into that book. That's basically everything that I kind of like included about the book. Was there anything else that I'm missing that you kind of thought of while I was talking about all that?
No, I think reading this initially, that was my first thought, you know, as a youth. I was like, oh my gosh, it's not hocusy pocusy. They're
Mm.
just in their garden, doing their thing, minding their own business, and then they get swept up in this whirlwind of drama. That was like, we talked about this in our very first episode, the first introduction into like witchcraft is just taking care of the earth and the
Yeah.
animals and each other, you know?
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
tweaking manifestation a little bit, like to suit your needs, but mostly the earth.
Yeah. I love that. We're gonna get more into the element now
And I
itself.
know you have more about Jillian coming out,
Yeah.
right? I think I know I think I saw it earlier, unless it's something different.
No, you might be right.
Okay.
You're probably right.
Yeah, so we're going to come back around to the movie
Yes.
again
Yep.
at some point. But yeah, the elements are the literal powers of nature. And so they are respected and considered to be holy by Wiccans, by pagans, by many, many groups around the world. They take a position in ritual and rural magic and ultimately in the day-to-day consciousness of those who live and work in accordance with the natural cycles of life and death and rebirth. All aspects of material reality find themselves entangled in earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit, the fifth element, and it finds its position in each of the four. So the concept of the states of matter has been with us at least since the time of the ancient Greeks, when what we now call the four, quote, classical elements, earth, air, fire, water, were the topic of conversation among the great philosophers. The four substances were considered to form all matter. Nothing physical was discovered that was not composed in part or in entirety of one or another of them. Does that make sense? Is that confusing? The model of the elements influenced in medicine in Greek society and in their religious traditions, and ultimately shaped the discovery of the physical elements in modern chemistry today. The Greeks were not alone in grasping the concept that everything derives from a system of natural phenomena. The same concept occurs in one form or another in ancient Egypt and Babylonia, in Buddhism, Hinduism, and in Chinese and Japanese religions. The Eastern tradition differ in the degrees to which they acknowledge the elements. Chinese astrology, which we talked about very recently in our snake episode, divides the earth-based elements into wood and metal into discrete elements in themselves. And ancient Indian philosophy follows the original Greek system with the inclusion of akasha, or space, as the fifth element. The term akasha was later borrowed from the Western occultists and used in some Wiccan traditions to refer to, quote, spirit. The name Aether, Aether, Aristotle's addition to the Greek system, meaning the roughly same thing, has been used in other traditions. The elements appear to be discrete natural forces and are a part of ritual. The elements are typically called upon at the commencement of ritual to participate in the celebration in question and the magic worked. Each of the four classical elements has one of the four cardinal directions attached to it. So north, south, east, and west, Justina told us about earlier, aligned with it, and so is called upon by the ritualist who turns to face in turn to call upon. So when you're calling the directions, you're facing the direction you're calling. If you're calling in earth, you're standing facing north. We always, in the priestess training, started at east. We always called in air first and worked our way then to south, and then to west, and
Okay.
then to the north.
So do
So
you call in spirit too?
we did. Yep. This is referred to as calling the quarters. If you've seen The Craft, you know
Yeah.
what this is.
Yep.
In most Wiccan traditions, others refer to calling upon the elements. The elemental energies are dismissed at the end of the ritual prior to the circle closing. So at the beginning, you're inviting them in, and at the end, you're releasing them.
We did this together in Salem.
We did.
Remember?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Was
That's
that our
cool.
first time doing spell work together? Or did we do,
We
I
did
think,
our Beltane
Joseph's spell
We did our
candle?
Beltane ritual, yeah, but that was like over the internet.
Yeah.
But like something is like to be said about doing spell work together in Salem in October. Like that was probably like the witchiest fucking shit
I
ever.
felt so good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Avi witched out
Yeah,
too.
Avi witched with us too. We talked about that whole thing on our Salem recap episode. I think it was Hello Season 2. The first
Yeah,
episode of
I think
season two,
so.
we recapped that whole experience. So if you guys want to hear about our first Salem experience together and like doing ritual together in Salem, we talk about the whole thing there. So go listen to that episode. I was
Yeah.
just re-listening to that one the other day. I
I
like
want to go back.
reliving it because it's just like, oh yeah, I want to go back.
I do too. 2026,
I hope so.
2025.
Maybe.
What are you doing this year?
I don't have a wedding, so I don't have a wedding to go to, so like, I could probably make it. Yeah.
So each element is also seen in one or several ritual tools placed on a Wiccan altar. The pentacle signifies earth, a candle placed aside to be used in that capacity signifies fire, an empty or filled chalice signifies water, and air may be signified with a wand. Sometimes I'll use a bell or incense. Other tools can be used to further signify these elements based on the complexity of one's craft, but to have effective balanced energy, at least one representation per element should be employed. This can be anything. This
Yeah.
can be a seashell. This can
Yeah.
be a dollar bill. This can be salt.
Did I tell you when me and Avi had our wedding ceremony, we honored the elements?
You're so witchy.
We honored the elements in our wedding ceremony.
I love it.
And as Earth, I think it's right here. It's packed away because I need to find a space for it now that I took out my little corner table. This is what I use as our element of Earth: a huge chunk of a rose quartz heart.
Damn,
Please.
that could kill someone.
This could be a weapon, right? But it's the intent. I choose not to.
But I could.
I could though. Don't test me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did that whole element ritual. I forget what we used as. I think we just like had a little dish of water, and then air was like a stick of incense,
Mhm.
and then fire, obviously a candle. But
Okay.
yeah, that was our earth element that we used.
That is so sweet.
Isn't that pretty?
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's heavy. that chunk.
This was just one. It wasn't like centerpieces, right? You didn't have like multiple of these.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no. It was just at at the altar when we were doing
got
our
it.
vows. Our officiant kind of like did like a whole honoring the elements, a little segment on that.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
And like,
The
half of our like Christian and
congregation.
other denominational congregations sitting there like just watching all this witchcraft up at the altar.
Yeah, they are.
They had no
They are.
choice.
Have you seen the TikTok? One of our we follow them, they follow us. It's the woman who's doing her house like practical magic inside.
Yeah.
She what's when he stitched a
Uh-huh.
video of like a Christian lady talking about like taking grape juice and pouring it around her house as
Yep.
the signal of blood of Christ and like
Yep.
protection. And she's like, "Oh, honey, you found witchcraft."
Yeah. I think I reposted that one. I was like, "Oh, I love that
Yeah.
response." That response was top tier.
Yeah. So, like I said, this can be anything seashells symbolizing water. You can really use anything. We're going to get to shortly the associations with herbs and crystals and color, and with the correspondences knowingly acknowledged and the support of the elements called upon in respective manner, successful spell work can be done. We're going to unpack more of this later. This is from Labyrinthos Academy, and it has, yeah, like a little chart. It has what tarot suit is connected with Earth, which is the pentacles, some keywords, responsibility, practicality, experience, reliability. There's a duality of passive. There's the astrological signs. All of these things we're going to dive more into shortly. But the astrological signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The Jungian function is sensation. Of course, we just talked about the direction of north, and the time of the year. We're talking about winter and midnight as the time of day.
Let's talk about Earth in the classical elements. So, Earth was one of the four ancient Greek elements in science and philosophy. It was typically associated with heaviness, matter, and the terrestrial sphere. The element Earth has been associated with the sensual aspects of life and death in later occultism due to the chthonic underworld, like Cthulhu? Like, what are we talking here? Chthonic underworld deities and the cults of heroes. Oh god, I gotta say all these crazy Greek names now.
You got this.
Empedocles of Acragas, I think that's how you say it, between 495 and 435 BCE, had four archai, Archai, in terms of interpreting the universe through which to understand the cosmos: fire, air, water, and earth. Plato believed the elements were geometric forms, the Platonic solids, and he assigned the element earth to the cube in his dialogue Timaeus. Is that Timaeus? I never heard of that.
Timaeus?
Timaeus? Timaeus. Aristotle believed Earth to be the heaviest element, and his natural place theory posited that any earth-bearing material would fall rapidly straight to the center of the universe. There were a number of goddesses in Greek and Roman mythology who were personifications of the earth, seasons, crops, and fertility, including Demeter and Persephone. Ceres, the Horae, the season goddesses, and Proserpina and Hades, also Pluto in, I guess, Roman mythology, right? Who ruled the dead in the underworld. And Proserpina is Persephone in Roman mythology.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know this until I did a video a while ago on I have a children's book of mythology, and I was reading through it, and I was reading some of the stories from my YouTube channel, and I did like a whole Proserpina video.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I think I made it privated because I'm like I curse a lot in it, and I'm like, I don't need the
Okay.
kids I nanny to fucking be finding this shit,
Oh my God.
because they'll find it. All four humors in ancient Greek medicine were attributed to an element. Black bile was attributed to earth because both were dry and cold in quality. Other things attributed to earth and black bile in ancient and medieval medicine were the season autumn because it heightened the qualities of dryness and coldness. The melancholic personality of a person dominated by the black bile humor, the female, and the direction south on the compass. Does that make sense? Did I say that?
Interesting. Okay, wait. I have no idea.
So
Sorry.
are they saying that the melancholic personality is of the female?
A melancholic personality, like maybe if a female is dominated by the black bile, like her black bile
Um,
is out of balance,
uh-huh.
is melancholic,
Okay.
perhaps.
Okay. Yeah, so the direction is south on the compass, according to this. So, how does Earth work with the other elements? So, let's talk about Earth with fire. Earth can be used to smother fire, while fire can be used to melt Earth into magma,
Magma.
as Dr. Evil says, or reshape it into precious crystals. Earth with water. Earth is fertilized by water, bringing it life-giving properties for plants, while Earth can also pollute water, making it unsuitable for life. Then Earth also holds the water, giving it a place to reside. And then Earth with air, Earth can be eroded and carried by air, while Earth often remains steadfast even during the strong winds.
Mm,
So it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors, like paper
totally.
takes rock.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's like each can kind of
Like it's a give and
influence one
take.
another. Right.
Influence.
There's a give and a take, exactly. So, Earth in occult and esoteric systems. Talking about the Kabbalah, what is Malkuth? Is that just means the kingdom? Malkuth?
I suppose so, yeah.
Malkuth, the kingdom, the lowest Sephira representing the physical world. Prithvi, in Sanskrit, is the Hindu earth and mother goddess. So, kind of like the Greeks' Gaia, right?
Okay.
So, according to one such tradition, she is the personification of the earth itself. According to another, its actual mother being Prithvi Tattva, the essence of the earth element. As Prithvi Mata, or Mother Earth, she contrasts with Diyas Pita, Father Sky. In the Rig Veda, earth and sky are frequently addressed as a duality, often indicated by the idea of two complementary half shells. In addition, the element earth is associated with Buddha or Mercury, who represents communication, business, mathematics, and other practical matters. In Jainism, it mentions one-sensed beings or spirits believed to inhabit the element earth, sometimes classified as Prithvikaya Ekandriya.
It's so interesting that, again, we just talked about Mercury in the snake episode with the rod of Asclepius
Mhm.
v the rod of Mercury. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some tarot, getting back into the tarot now. We do have some earth cards from Joseph Steck, which we will read a little. Do you want to read that now, or do you want to read that later when we do our card pull after the break?
Does he have a specific earth card?
He does, yeah.
Oh, we can read it later. That's
Okay.
fine. After our break. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Yeah. All right. So, getting back into the minor arcana, that consists of four suits, about 56 cards, and typically are related to everyday events or aspects of our lives. One of the suits is the suit of pentacles, which corresponds to the element of earth. Consider this element when working with a pentacles tarot card. The earth is the ground that we stand on, firm and reliable. It also is where we plant seeds to help them grow into things that give us sustenance. I always loved what was it? I think this is the Seven of Pentacles card. Is that the one where the guy's like kind of like working away in his workshop or whatever, and there's like all the pentacles behind him, and it's like,
Oh, that is a nice one. What's the
yeah,
one where he's juggling?
that's I think the Two of Pentacles.
That's a not good one?
Yeah, it's kind of like you have some choices. You gotta weigh the pros and the cons, like
Okay.
and you gotta balance something. You gotta
I
balance your
like
checkbook, right?
that.
Remember those?
Oh my
I don't remember
God.
the last time I touched a check or balanced a checkbook anyway.
Right,
Right.
right.
Let's
My mom
see.
still balances her
Does she
checkbook.
really?
She
Yeah,
still
I'm
pays
I'm
bills with her
sure
checks.
I'm
My
sure
mother
a
does
lot
as
of
well.
like boomers balance their checkbook still.
Yeah. I will pay with a check if I have no other option.
I'll pay with a check if somebody requests a check. I had to pay check for Avi's birthday party at
Mm,
the
mhm,
venue requested the check.
mhm.
And I'm like, shit, now I gotta find my fucking checkbook. I never use it. What the
Yeah.
I had to dig that out.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. So, the suit of pentacles in tarot represents our sense of resilience, responsibility, and reliability. When these cards appear in a reading, they often speak to the resources we have at our disposal: our bodies, our finances, our health, and overall sense of security. Interpreting earth cards through the lens of the pentacle suit invites us to explore the nurturing wisdom that flows from our relationship with the material world. The pentacles also represents material objects, materialistic things. So each pentacle card offers a distinct insight into how we interact with the physical realm. For instance, the Page of Pentacles may suggest a new opportunity beginning to form, while the Queen of Pentacles embodies the grounded, generous, and practical aspects of Earth. Together, these cards guide us into navigating life's tangible landscapes with a blend of wisdom, foresight, and steadfast care. And I saw a thing recently where like I guess like tarot people were comparing, they were saying like, how do you say sugar daddy in tarot? King of Pentacles,
Yes.
right?
I love that.
King of
So
Pentacles.
funny.
The suit of Pentacles' strengths lie within its ability to pass the test of time. Since the Earth suit is related to all things that are matter, it also represents nature and our body. Pentacles provides us with solid foundations so that we can grow and progress as people. Those that are connected to the suit of Pentacles are reliable, responsible, and ambitious. They oftentimes are hardworking and understand that with steady effort, something can grow to stand the test of time. Kind of like this podcast because it's run by two Virgo risings.
Hey.
Are we going to have a season 4?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, exactly. Something that can grow and stand the test of time. And it's like something that like we were able to nurture because we have that patience. Earth is a slow moving element. It takes a lot of patience to be with somebody who has any earth placements in their chart. Trust me, I waited 8 years for a ring. Avi has,
Oh,
I think Avi's like I don't remember if I think he's also a Virgo rising.
okay.
And
Weird.
I think he also has Taurus placements as well. So,
I was thinking of our most recent call with Mallory,
uh-huh.
where I'm like making spreadsheets, and she's like, I
Yeah.
love a Virgo. I am not a Virgo, but I like watching a Virgo at work,
She's
a
like, you
Virgo
guys
rising at
are
work.
so organized. And I'm like, that's because we have Gillum.
Hello.
Thanks, Gillum.
AKA me.
AKA, yeah, both of us, like, we're both Gillum. Like, that's an extension of our personalities combined,
I
right?
love that. We made
Like,
like a tulpa.
we both have to have become Gillum to make this like a well-oiled machine, you know?
If you've emailed in and received an email in return, that was Gillum.
Yeah.
Who knows which one it was
He's
of
just
us?
been signing it as Justina and Kristina this whole time. But
Should
it's
we change it to
actually,
Gillum?
we should change it to Gillum. Just confuse people.
Official.
Unless
Gil.
unless they actually listen to the podcast, it just confuses
Yeah.
the shit out of everybody.
Thanks for writing in. We'll circle back.
I love
Gil.
that. Love Gillum. So, the suit of pentacles as a weakness. At its worst, the suit of pentacles and the element of earth has a hard time dealing with change. Hence, what we said before, it's a slow moving element. It moves at its own pace. You can't force an earth sign to do anything. This suit can be stubborn, which is their quality of reliability going too far. Their concern with the material world can also go to extremes by becoming materialistic, greedy, and possessive. Reverse pentacles in tarot can signify these qualities or being lacking of the earth element, practicality, common sense can be missing, and instead they can signify laziness, carelessness, and some kind of loss of resources.
Mm.
So there is a flip side, right?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a flip side to every element. And the suit of pentacles in love. This represents stability, commitment, and the practical side of relationships. It often highlights the importance of building a secure foundation or addressing material concerns with partnerships. When pentacles appear in a love reading, they may indicate positive themes, long-term commitment, loyalty, building a solid future together, but it doesn't come without challenges. Overemphasis on material concerns, work-life balance issues, or relationships feeling transactional. Or maybe you've had my kind of experience where, like, me and Avi were together for a really long time before he was like, all right, I think we can get married now. And, like, that's really frustrating when you're in your early 20s and you see everybody around you,
Yeah.
like, doing the thing, and you're like, okay, my clock's ticking here. When are we gonna get this going? But, like, he's just moving at his own glacial pace.
Hmm.
And he's very stubborn. So I just had to kind of ride it out. You have to be very patient. It's a test of patience to be with a person with any kind of earth placements. I'm
You're
telling
so
you.
funny.
But once you kind of lock it in, that person is like ride or die. Like
Yeah.
they are the solid foundation,
Oh,
And they
yeah, I see that.
so, and then also reflection. Are you nurturing both the emotional and practical aspects of your relationship? How can you create a balance between love and stability? And then, as far as the suit of pentacles in career and creativity, its focuses on material success, hard work, and the rewards of effort. It often points to financial growth, stability, or opportunities for advancement. Some of the positive themes here are career success, steady progress, the realization of creative projects with tangible results. But then there are some challenges. Again, challenges, the flip side to everything: overworking, valuing productivity over passion, or feeling stuck in a routine. Are you a mouse on a wheel? Then we have reflection. Are you investing your energy into work that aligns with your core values? And how can you balance ambition with personal satisfaction? Because you can be ambitious to a faulty point. You can start doing things to kind of like please others or mold yourself into what others expect you to be. And then with that comes the neglection of personal satisfaction.
With the sweets comes the sour.
Right. So those are just some things to keep in mind if you pull some pentacles in your career readings.
Hmm.
And then the suit of pentacles in finance. This suit is most directly tied to financial matters, representing wealth, resources, and material security. It often provides guidance on how to grow, manage, or appreciate your resources. And some of the positive themes here are financial stability, wise investments, growing wealth through effort and patience. But the challenges are a scarcity mindset, over attachment to material wealth, or fear of financial instability. And some reflection here. Are you managing your finances with care and intention? And how can you cultivate a healthy relationship with money? This is like one of the biggest areas for me where it's like, what's the not life path number? Is it the life path number? I think I'm
The
an 8.
Enneagram? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like money comes in, money goes out, money comes in, money goes out. And I have to like constantly keep that in mind. Money's going to go out, but yeah, it's going to come back to me. It'll be
Yes, yeah.
fine. And that kind of keeps me out of that scarcity mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just some things to keep in mind as far as finance goes in the suit of pentacles. And now we're going to get into the suit of pentacles as far as health goes, because in health readings, the suit of pentacles emphasizes the physical body, grounding, and the importance of nurturing your physical well-being. It often encourages attention to long-term habits and practical steps for your health. So some positive themes here are steady improvement, focus on physical health, and the rewards of consistent self-care. Some of the challenges: neglecting physical health due to overwork or material concerns, or being too rigid in health routines. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can work out to the point of like it's not going to do your body it's not doing you any good. Like it's
You're
doing
gonna
more
start
harm.
tearing things that shouldn't be
Exactly.
torn.
Exactly. Take a rest day every now and then, you
Mhm.
know? And then some reflection that comes with this suit in health. Are you prioritizing your physical health? And how can you bring a sense of balance and sustainability to your self-care practice? So just some things to keep in mind. So that about does it for the suits in the minor arcana. And now we're going to get back into the majors as far as which of the major arcana cards are more so connected to the element of earth. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the Empress, and she represents fertility, nature, and creation. And some of the keywords for her, if you're working with her in the upright position, is the divine feminine, sensuality, fertility, nurturing, creativity, beauty, abundance, and nature. In the reverse position, she can represent insecurity, overbearing, negligence, smothering, like a helicopter parent, lack of growth, and lack of progress.
Mm.
Yeah, so the Empress is that really like that motherly.
It could be a Norman Batesy mom,
Oh
or it could
yeah.
be like a Sally mom. The Sally is the upright.
Yeah.
She's nurturing, she's creative, she's abundance. Reverse, Norman Bates mom.
Is her name Norma?
Norma, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she named him Norman, which is like the male version of her name, because that's
Mm-hmm.
not like narcissistic as fuck. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna name my kid Justin
Justin, Justin. Yeah, baby Chris in the house.
with a K, right?
Okay.
Like Kris
Ugh.
Jenner. Ew. So the next
This is
card.
fun. Let's do this for all of them.
Yeah, yeah, we should. The tarot is the perfect way to kind of like talk about the elements because the suits, it's all right there. So the next one on this list is the Hierophant, and this one is ruled by Taurus, and it's a fixed earth sign. And some of the keywords in the upright position are tradition, social groups, conventionality, conformity, education. I don't know how conformity is a good thing. Education, knowledge, and beliefs. And then reverse, it's rebellion. See, I see the rebellion as a good thing.
But not with the Hierophant. That does not, it's not him. It's not
I
what he.
guess, yeah, you're right about that, I guess. But I guess I want to get the Hierophant reverse. Something to stir some
Yeah.
shit up.
Yeah.
It's Jillian walking into the phone tree day meeting,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So reversed is, yeah, rebellion, unconventionality, nonconformity, new methods, and ignorance.
As a perfect way of putting it, reversed is Jillian walking in to the phone tree. Upright is the phone tree. The ladies.
Right, yeah. Or even Sally, because she's conforming in that
Hmm.
whole situation, right? She's trying to blend in. Who would be the Empress? We didn't say that for the last card. Who do you think would be the
Oh,
Empress?
I said Sally, but it could definitely be, let's see, divine feminine, sensuality, fertility, nurturing, creativity, beauty, abundance, and nature. I'm blanking.
I mean, it can carry over to the books too. It doesn't have to be just the movie.
Like April. I could see April being that way.
Yeah, I would have said the Empress would be Aunt Isabel, and then the reverse would be Susanna, right? Is that their Franny and Jet's
Yes.
mother? Franny and
Yes.
Jet, Vincent's mother?
Okay.
Yeah, because she's kind of like smothering, but she's also very insecure, I think. She doesn't want them doing
Reaching their full potential.
exactly, exactly. All right, so moving on to the Devil card. The Devil,
Who's
ruled
that?
by Capricorn. ambition and material bondage. So in the upright position, it can symbolize oppression, addiction, obsession, dependency, excess, powerlessness, and limitations. Flipping it and reversing it, we have independence, freedom, revelation, release, reclaiming power, and reclaiming control. So basically, Jillian with Jimmy is the upright, and Jillian, after Jimmy's been killed, twice dead and buried, Jillian's living the life after Jimmy's gone.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
She is free as a bird. Isn't that funny though? Like, she thought she was leaving Magnolia Street to live a life of freedom, but she
Hmm.
just went right into the snake den, and like now she's like tied up in Jimmy's proverbial chains, and like she has less freedom than she did just if she would have just stayed on Magnolia Street, just
Yep.
doing her thing.
Totally.
The next card is the world, and this represents integration, the physical body, and completion. So, upright, this is completion, achievement, fulfillment, sense of belonging, wholeness, and harmony. And on the reverse, it's a lack of closure, lack of achievement, feeling incomplete, and emptiness. And I don't know what scenario you would tie the world card to, as far as, I guess, the whole Owens curse, maybe.
Yeah, and our tarot episodes that we did, the earth or the world, we symbolized as their leap from the house at the end. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's their the fulfillment, the coming in full circle, the sense of belonging. They're now accepted by the community. They're in
Right.
harmony with their magic, themselves, their family, their community. Yeah, the reverse then is the curse. It's
Yeah, I would say, yeah, the reverse would probably symbolize Maria if we're gonna give it a person.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
she's kind of died with that lack of closure, right? Like,
yeah,
her baby daddy went away, don't know where the fuck he went. She had to raise a child alone,
yeah.
and she basically cursed any man from then on. That lineage was fucked because of her lack of
Hmm.
closure. And
Agreed.
that feeling of emptiness and incompleteness, I'm sure that, had a lot to do with, all those feelings wrapped up into that curse that passed on through the lineage down the line.
And I'm wondering if the constant dying, whether it's the curse or if it's just life, that is fueling their grief and their pain, the hatred of, being wronged by a man or a man leaving them is fueling this curse.
Yeah, yeah, and and you're right. It's like a repetitive thing that just keeps happening. So it just like reignites that, I guess, those feelings
Mindset.
of abandonment.
Yeah. So to pounce off of that, since we touched a little bit on the zodiacs, let's talk about the earth signs in astrology. So astrologically, Earth aligns with the zodiacs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So let's start with Taurus, which is a fixed sign. They represent grounding, sensuality, stability. They're ruled by Venus, which embodies the sensual and nurturing aspects of Earth, emphasizing pleasures and material comforts. I think of like not top luxury, but like they'd
Spirit.
rather pay for it, spend the money, pay for it once than have to pay for it
You know
a
what
shitty
Avi?
thing.
You know what Avi says? He says, "Buy nice or buy twice."
That's it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his
Yeah.
saying. I told you, he's the King of Pentacles. Like,
Buy
that's
nice or buy twice.
he's all about his purchases.
Investment. That's why I always call it.
Exactly.
I'm making an investment in
Yeah,
this.
I like that. I like that.
The earth element in Taurus expresses itself through a strong connection to the senses, leading to an appreciation for tangible pleasures and a deep fondness for nature's bounty. This sign values consistency and reliability, manifesting in a patient and determined approach to life. However, this steadfastness can sometimes turn into stubbornness, reflecting the immovable nature of their earthly temperament.
Ain't
That
that the truth?
stubborn bull, right?
Ain't that the Well, my mom's a Taurus. That's her sun sign, so I know how that is. Mm.
Caitlin is the Taurus, and I think I've spoken about this before. She can be stubborn, but I always associate her with like a comfy blanket. She just wants her book and her blanket and like good food. They love good food and
Yeah.
being cozy and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my mother's like that too. She's all about her books and her blankets. Yeah, and her cat now, and like,
Hmm.
matters of the home. And like, I have to say, growing up with a Tauran mother, she always made sure like the house was clean and like everything was kept, and like
Yeah.
I don't have like any Tauran in me. I have the Virgo. So I think that carried over a little bit into my own home, and just like making sure, like, just wanting things to look nice and like put together,
Lovely.
exactly.
Inviting.
Making it cozy, and like when you welcome a guest, they want to feel like they're at home?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like the house. Remember when I was making the videos for YouTube and you were like, is she in a prison cell? It's all
The cinder block walls. I was like, where is this girl? Just like in a dark room, just drinking a bottle of wine by herself in a prison cell. I'm like, this poor girl.
There
But
was no Taurus in that house for sure.
that's so funny. But I mean, you made it, you probably tried to anyway. You tried to make it into as much of a home as you possibly could because, Virgo, right? Resourcefulness.
Yes. Yes.
Making a shithole into a home. It's just what we're good
Polishing
at.
that turd.
Polish that turd, right?
Yeah. So let's move on to the mutable Virgo. They represent refinement, service, and precision.
Gillum.
Gillum. So guided by, what if he has just like a stellium of Virgo and
Oh
he's
my
just
God.
boom, 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 boom.
All Virgo, all down the line.
Also, okay, that's interesting. Didn't know Virgo was also guided by Mercury. So I got double Mercury going on.
Okay.
Brings practicality and meticulousness, attention to detail, enhancing the earthly qualities of the pentacle suit.
Oh.
Virgo has meticulous and analytical traits associated with its element. The sign is characterized by a keen attention to detail, a strong sense of duty, and a pragmatic approach to life. The earth element in Virgo manifests as a methodical and organized nature, often leading to proficiency in tasks that requires precision and careful planning. It does sound like a boring meeting,
Yeah.
but it works. Like our system works, y'all.
Listen, I love being a Virgo rising because if I did not have Virgo in my chart, I would be completely unhinged.
Yes, I agree.
I feel like my Virgo tethers me a little bit. If I
Mhm.
had no Earth in my chart, my
Good luck.
Sagittarius Cancer Moon ass would just completely be off the rail.
Yeah. Thank God.
Oh my God, thank God for Virgo.
So Virgos are further known for their desire for efficiency and perfection. That is my big word, efficiency.
Mm,
Inefficiency, I would rather chew on a rusty blade because it just, Aaron, I love him, but I'm like, why would you make all these goddamn trips? Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
which drives them to continuous improvement in both personal and professional areas of their life. However, pursuing perfection can sometimes lead to overcritical attitudes and unnecessary stress for the Virgo zodiac sign.
Oh, that is absolutely true.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have the cardinal direction of Capricorn. Both of my parents are Capricorns. It was tough. Ambition, structure, and authority. That Hierophant card.
Uh-huh.
The diligent achiever channels the disciplined and ambitious nature of Earth, paving the way for success in the material realm. The astrological connections infused with the Pentacle suit, with grounding energy, creating a harmonious dance between the celestial and the earthly. This sign is known for its strong sense of responsibility, practicality, and relentless drive to achieve its goals. The earth element fosters in Capricorn a realistic and determined approach to life, often leading to significant achievements in the professional realm. Capricorns possess an innate ability to navigate challenges with patience and perseverance, and they value structure and tradition in their pursuits.
So does that align a lot with what your parents are?
The mom has more of the patience.
Mm,
Um, they instilled in us, tried to have that structure, very rigid.
yeah.
Dad's a former Marine and very traditional. Like, I was surprised, I will say, for having like traditional values, Capricorn plus Catholics, when I came to them and I was like, hey, like my husband and I, first husband and I are divorcing. My mom, like, got it. I was like, that just blew me away for as traditional as she is.
Yeah.
So, you know, not it's not just your sun sign, right? We like,
Right. All of your signs have their placements and they have an influence
mhm.
over you, you know?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Sure.
Take us into folklore.
All right. Let's talk about Gaia, the
Mhm.
primordial earth mother in Greek mythology, also known as Gaia, Gaea, or Ge, is a primordial goddess and the personification of the earth in Greek mythology. Gaia emerged from chaos and is considered the supreme or mother goddess by immortals and mortals alike.
Chaos energy.
That is, yeah, we are chaos energy for sure. But like an organized chaos, you know?
That's why Gaia loves us.
Right. Everything has its place, but I mean, sometimes we're a little unhinged, and that's okay. Gotta take the good with the bad. All gods and goddesses are descended from her through her union with Uranus, heaven, and Pontus, the sea. So her Roman equivalent is Terra Mater, Mater, or Tellus Mater. Gaia was the first overseer at the Oracle of Delphi and sometimes warned others of prophecies she has received. She helped Zeus overthrow his father, Cronus, and defeat the Titans. However, she soon turned against Zeus and sent her monstrous son Typhon after him. So there you go. That's
It's
Gaia.
just a little blip of her history.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a whole fucking story we could get into about her. I love those like do you ever see those bronze statues like with the like Mother Earth with the pregnant Earth belly?
Yeah. Hmm.
I want to get one of those. I think they're so pretty.
You should.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my garden or somewhere.
Hmm.
I don't know where to put it. I gotta find a place. I'm like running out of space in this house. All right, and then we have Pachamama. I
I
like
like
that
that
name.
name.
Pachamama.
Oh, that's your mama.
In Andean mythology, I guess like the Andes, yeah, the
Yeah.
Andes Mountains, it looks like. Pachamama is a goddess revered by the indigenous people of the Andes. In Inca mythology, she is an earth mother type goddess and a fertility goddess who presides over planting and harvesting, embodies the mountains, and causes earthquakes. She is also an ever present and independent deity who has her own creative power to sustain life on earth. Her shrines are hollowed rocks or the boles of legendary trees, and her artists envision her as an adult female bearing harvests of potatoes or coca leaves. The four cosmological Quechua principles, water, earth, sun, and moon, claim Pachamama as their prime origin. Coca leaves as in like cacao?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We're gonna get I don't know if we get into cacao, but we talk about chocolate a little later
Okay.
on.
Pachamama.
Yeah, Pachamama. And then we have Nerthus, the Germanic earth goddess. Nerthus is known from a report of her given by the Roman historian Tacitus, who in his book Germania refers to her as Terra Mater or Mother Earth and says that she was worshipped by 7 tribes, among whom were the Angles, who later invaded England. Anglo-Saxons? Is that
Anglos. Yeah.
Anglos. Her worship centered on a temple in a sacred grove on an island in the Baltic Sea. She was believed to enjoy coming among her people riding in a chariot pulled by cows. Her presence was discerned by her priest, and while she was among them, her people lived in peace with no war or fighting and much rejoicing. We could use Nerthus in today's day and age, please. When she returned to her temple, she and her chariot were washed in a sacred lake by slaves who were then drowned in the lake. What
Oh
the fuck?
no.
That's horrible.
It is interesting that her chariot was pulled by cows
Yeah.
because Taurus is the bull, right?
Mhm.
Is that right? Oh,
Yeah.
so
Or wait,
they're
what's the
Earth
difference
sign.
between Capricorn and Taurus and Aries? Aries is the ram, right?
Aries is the ram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Capricorn.
Was that
Was
the
that
fish?
the fish sheep?
The fish sheep.
The
Oh,
sheep
is
mermaid?
Capricorn a sheep?
Or goat head? Goat head mermaid body? One's got a tail.
Okay, so Capricorn is symbolized by a sea goat,
Sea goat.
a mythical creature that's half goat, half fish, and
Yeah.
Taurus is symbolized by the bull.
Yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
sea goat. That's so, I didn't even know that until you told me that. I was like, I was like last
You
week
thought I
years
was
old.
making it up.
No, I was like, I never even like realized that it was like a half, like
It was a
a
hybrid.
hybrid of some mythological shit. I always thought like a Capricorn was like another goat or bull or some
Mm-hmm.
other kind of
Rammed being.
horned animal. Yeah, but I didn't know it was like a
Did I say rammed being?
goat.
I meant horned.
A rammed being. That's funny. So then some other deities are Ceridwen, Demeter, Terra, Jord, Ceres, Rhiannon, Persephone, Epona. How do you say this one? Tifti? Tififi? Pan, Herni, Cernunnos, Thoth, Adonis, Tammuz, Dionysus, and Mother Earth. That's all on flyingthehedge.com. I'm not sure. Maybe they get a little bit more into all of those over there if you guys want to go check
They
that
did.
link out. Okay,
They
we'll link
did.
that in we'll link that in our show notes if you guys want to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, tell us a little bit about salt.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the alchemical earth. Let's get into salt as a representation of physical matter. So, earth element and stability. Salt is seen as the solid, form-giving, and stable principle representing the earth element. As far as physical manifestation, alchemists view salt as the physical, quote, body, remaining after combustion, the corporeal substance that survives death to regenerate new life. Salt functions as the fulcrum of death and revivification, representing both, quote, corruption and preservation against corruption. It has to do with body and matter. Salt is often associated with the feminine, the earthly, the body, including the emotional body and the feeling nature. In the alchemical tria prima which means three principles. Salt, along with mercury and sulfur, represents the fundamental building blocks of the universe. And as an alchemical symbol, salt is a cross over a circle, representing the solid, stable nature of salt. And then, as far as the connection to nature, earth and water together, represented by salt, deepen one's connection to nature and the cyclical rhythms of life. Speaking of which, I'm going to the beach over the weekend, and last year I boiled down the salt water and made like a sea salt.
Oh,
It took a while,
that's
but
awesome.
literally boiled down some salt water. Whatever's at the bottom, take that out and lay it on a nice baking sheet. Get the rest of the moisture out, and then you put in a sea salt scrub.
That's
Add,
cool.
add a little bit of your special magical lavender or essential oils in there, and rub it on your body.
Mermaid magic.
Mermaid magic. I don't know if I'd eat it. I
Yeah.
probably talked about this the last time I went because like fish poopies, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It is also manifestation of spiritual intentions. Earth provides a solid grounding base for water's fluid, flowing energy, helping to manifest spiritual intentions into tangible reality. Salt is used as a metaphor for the body or physical matter and is seen as the physical manifestation of the elements.
I wanted to talk more about salt as a use for protection and grounding. We've never done a salt episode, which I think would be a good idea to do. But I wanted to talk about it more so here because there was another thing that I never thought about before. So maybe the aunt's vices, like we talked about earlier, the overindulgence in chocolate, but also the midnight margaritas, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it actually has nothing to do with them just overindulging for the sake of overindulging. I'd like to think there is more intention behind these little vices that they have. Just like the chocolate, they use the salt in their margaritas for grounding and protection. Because if you think about it, drinking alcohol and being under the influence of any substance leaves you vulnerable to spiritual entities, right? So, of course, they would pick a drink that involves salt, providing them with that grounding and protection while getting their buzz on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I like it. I like that. Multi-purpose right there. So salt is one of the most ancient and powerful tools for spiritual grounding. A humble mineral with an extraordinary energetic role in folk magic, witchcraft, and spiritual practices around the world. So here's how salt grounds you spiritually, both symbolically and energetically. Salt connects to the earth. Salt is born of the earth and the sea. Whether it's mined from ancient deposits or harvested from ocean waters, it carries the stabilizing energy of nature's oldest elements. To use it is to touch something primordial. It reminds your body and spirit, you are not floating, you belong here, in this body, on this earth. Did you ever see, like, what is it, the Dead Sea, where, like, there's so much salt that, like, literally your body just floats,
I want to do that.
right? That is
That's so
so
cool.
freaking cool.
Hmm.
Number two, salt anchors the spirit. In ritual and energetic work, salt helps bring scattered, anxious, or elevated energy back down. It acts like a magnet for your spiritual self, helping you to return to the present moment, to feel safe in your physical body, dispel excess mental or emotional energy, and just carrying a little pinch of salt in your pocket or sprinkling a little in your bath can bring you back from spiritual overload or dissociation. Bath salts, right?
I
Love,
love a
love a good
salty snack.
love a
Oh
good
my
bath blend.
God.
Me too.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I'll
I
take a
think
salt snack over sweet any day.
100%. And also, like breakfast foods or like any
Salt.
kind of food for that matter, give me the salt.
I would eat a breakfast sandwich every day if I could.
Same.
That's my go-to breakfast. If I had a choice,
Yeah.
you've seen maybe not. Caitlin has seen me eat just like corn dogs for breakfast. Because
Really?
I Erin will do the yogurt and like the
Oh, I
parfaits, and
can't do
you're not
that.
gonna eat breakfast. I'm like, no, I'd
Yeah.
rather eat the leftover pasta.
Same.
Yeah.
See, we are the same
Take it.
person. That's why, yeah, we
Food
were like
baby.
eating I don't know, night old pizza in the,
Yeah.
the hotel
Ye-
for pizza for
Yeah.
breakfast.
Or stealing the bacon
I'm
and
fine
the
with
hash
that.
browns from the Hyatt
Yeah,
hotel.
I'd rather much have like a hash brown any day over like a muffin, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I feel you on that. So yeah, definitely love the saltier foods. But yeah, I guess maybe eating that salty foods keeps you grounded. But it also makes your ankles puffy, so don't eat too much. It just
Maybe
puffs
that's
you
why
up.
my ankle is always sore. That arthritis is not being helped by all the salt in the
Right. Yeah,
body.
salt just puffs you up, so you do have to be
Man.
careful of the intake. Like
Oh.
there is a way to overindulge, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's why like after do you ever notice like after you eat like a boatload of sushi with all that soy sauce, it's just like I need water.
Yeah.
I'm like looking for water. I'm like
Yes.
my mouth is like you know?
You feel full, but you don't feel like gross full though. I wonder why.
I don't know, but the salt content and all that soy sauce is definitely like,
Give it to me.
yeah, yeah, give it to me, but also give me the I need water. And then third on this list, salt creates boundaries. It doesn't just absorb, it protects. It's often used in protective circles or sprinkled across thresholds to create energetic barriers. This helps you ground not just into yourself, but into your sovereignty. Your right to say, this space is mine. I decide what comes in and what stays out. By grounding your space, you ground your energy. You know what I noticed in Practical Magic? They have that circle of brooms, but they never used any salt for any kind of protection. And also, they never did a grounding ritual before they got all up into that exorcism.
They
They raw dogged that shit.
trash witches, man.
What? No grounding
They
and
had their own
centering.
rules.
They just fucking went at it full steam ahead.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't notice that until like I was doing this episode and I was like, "Oh, maybe there's some salt in that circle of no, no
This
salt.
is not safe.
No
You are
salt."
not. You
I
in
mean,
danger, girl.
maybe there was yeah, maybe there was some salt in like a little dish off to the side where like all the candles were, but like
I
nothing
don't know.
around the perimeter of like their broom circle or
Mm-mm.
anything. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I just noticed that. I was like, "Damn. Okay. You do you, boo, I
You
guess."
braver than me.
Yeah. And then fourth on this list, salt reminds you of your body. Salt is in our sweat, our tears, our blood. It's how our bodies remember the earth. Using salt, whether through ritual, cooking, or body care, grounds you in your own sacred vessel. You remember that your magic, your presence, your power lives here in the skin that you're in. I love that. Yeah. Like,
Love the skin you're in.
like when you're like sweating and you lick yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm salty. I need to go fucking take a shower.
I'm like, ooh, that tastes good.
Kristina's like, can I get that with a side of ketchup or something? Hash brown.
Dip me, baby.
Yeah. So some simple ways to use salt for grounding. You could do a salt bath ritual. You could add some sea salts and herbs like rosemary or lavender to your bath. And as you soak, imagine any anxiety, fear, or excess energy being drawn out and neutralized. You could just buy that. I forget what's the brand? Not Is it Dr. Myers? That Epsom salt brand?
That sounds right.
Is that right? Dr. Teal's.
Feels.
I was way off.
Dr. Myers.
Samsonite. I was way off. Dr. Teal's, yeah. Now Dr. Teal's makes all of these like amazing like
Infused.
yeah, I just bought a eucalyptus one and then I
Oh,
also
that must be
bought
nice.
a rose one, which is really nice.
I've only seen the lavender one, but eucalyptus, I like that. That
Yeah,
sounds.
I also just saw a Himalayan one, Himalayan salt one.
I want a
If you
bathtub.
go to Target, they have like every single I was gonna say flavor. Every single
Can't stop eating it.
kind of put it on your hash browns.
Yeah.
I don't think that would taste very good. But yeah,
Even your
those
chicken.
salt baths are so nice. Like, a hard day of working in the garden, your muscles are sore, like you're pulling those weeds.
Mm,
Yeah, dude, we were pulling lily bulbs on the side of our house when we first got the house.
yeah.
Before we rented a tiller, I was trying to do that shit by hand. I was in so much freaking pain after that. I would
Oh,
just take like salt baths.
that sounds so nice.
Yeah, the salt bath is really nice. You could do a salt circle where you stand in a circle of salt before a ritual or meditation and say aloud what you are releasing. And when you're finished, sweep it up with gratitude. You can make a salt and scented sachet. Mix salt with grounding herbs like cedar, patchouli, or mugwort in a cloth
Mugwort.
sachet and carry it with you. You can make a sachet for anything, really. Take some salt and mix it with the lavender, with the rosemary, whatever you want to do. And then lastly, cook with intention. Sprinkle salt into your food while saying a grounding affirmation like, I am here, I am held, I am whole, or like, protect this food so I don't get food poisoning. I don't know.
Absorb those toxins in my body because it's
Right.
so,
Allow me to digest this, please.
Yeah.
I need a lot of salt protection when I'm eating these days. I feel like
Bless this gas X and these Tums.
everything fucking
Amen.
hurts. Bless this Tums, amen. Yeah, so those are just some simple ways for grounding. And do you know that there's like salt cave or like not salt caves, like salt houses now where you can go.
Oh,
There's like one
yes.
not far from my house that like I've been dying to try it out.
Yes, there I have heard there's one close to where Caitlin lives. I was like, why didn't you tell me? It's like $30. Just fucking let's do this. But
Yeah. Next time you come here, we should do that.
I want to see you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And not have a business thing to do.
Right. But it's going to turn into that anyway, because
Mhm.
it's probably going to turn into some photo shoot because we need content and like, we're like making the most of our time together and
I know.
But yeah, it would be cool to do more
We
ritual.
have talked about Savannah. That would be kind of dope to have like
Right.
spooky ass swamp witch
Ooh.
photos done.
Ooh, that would
Right?
be sick. I haven't been to Savannah since like 2008.
Can you and Avi like start talking so we can make this happen? I haven't been, so
We'll have to make it.
maybe.
He hasn't been either. I used to go because my brother went to SCAD.
Right.
So I used to go every summer when he was going to school there.
I know flying is kind of iffy right now,
Yeah.
so
I mean, I told
it'll
you, we
happen.
used to drive that. That's a far fucking drive, like a 16-hour drive. We used to drive
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yikes.
I don't know why we never flew.
Well, you have a stopover place now.
That's true. I
Yeah.
mean, I have a few stopover places. I have family in North Carolina. I have you in South Carolina. But like, I have no reason to go to Georgia anymore. My brother's in LA now, so he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But when he was there, we used to go every summer. They
That's
have
so cool.
Tybee Island, the beach there,
Mhm.
which is cool. So if you go in the summertime, you can go lay out on the beach. And apparently, Sandra Bullock used to have a house there
I believe it.
in Tybee Island.
Believe
Yeah,
it.
but that's it for the salts. I think we're gonna take a quick break now. When we come back, we're gonna get all into Earth and the occult and the esoteric, and we're gonna talk about some what else are we gonna do? Ritual magic,
Elementals.
elementals, the sabbats, and then we're gonna talk more about crystals. We're gonna talk more about some movie stuff in a bit too. So stick around, we'll be right back. Hey little witches, Justina here, calling all practical magic fans and music lovers. This fall, get ready for something truly spellbinding from the Stinas. Kristina and I started Magnolia Street Podcast as a way to share our original music inspired by our favorite movie, Practical Magic. We've been hard at work in the recording studio since September, brewing up our 5-song debut EP, Magnolia Street Volume 1.
At the house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow wild? At the house of magic and mystery, so would you go down to Magnolia Street?
If you want the inside scoop on our music and the stories behind each song, join our Rose tier on Patreon for just $8 a month and dive into exclusive content from our songisodes. Plus, bonus content from our highly anticipated upcoming EP. On there, you'll find lyric sheets, original demos, behind-the-scenes videos from the studio, blog posts, production notes, and more. Don't miss out on the magic. Keep up to date with us on our Instagram at Magnolia Street Podcast for all of our music news and be a part of our musical journey. The Stinas are bringing practical magic to life, one song at a time, right here on Magnolia Street.
You didn't go down to Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street.
Hey little witches, the Stinas here. If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you would know how much we love using the Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle deck by Grounded by the Moon.
And now we want to share the magic of Grounded by the Moon with you, our listeners. Joseph Benitez Egerton, the creator behind Grounded by the Moon, would like to offer this very special 10% off discount to all who wish to experience the magic of his Practical Magic themed tarot and oracle decks.
But that's not all. He also creates other divination tools like tarot workbooks, deck bags and altar cloths, pendulum kits, oil blends, cleansing sprays, smoke wands, teas, and ritual kits.
And let's not forget about his custom handcrafted, all-natural soy candles, where every candle is hand-poured and personally infused and charged under the light of the moon. They even come with a crystal.
And did we mention all of the ingredients in the candles are ethically sourced?
All of Joseph's offerings are just so magical. So go visit groundedbythemoon.com and use the coupon code Magnolia Magic for 10% off your entire order at checkout.
That's MAGNOLIA MAGIC. So get your discount today.
You're listening to the Magnolia Street Podcast. Welcome back. Joseph's deck actually has a specific earth card that Justina's going to tell us about, but I also think we should do a poll because it gave a suggestion to ask the deck, which is where in my life do I need more earth energy? So I think we could do both.
You know what is also really cool about Joseph's deck? He has these spread cards right? He's got
Hmm.
these spread cards, and he has elemental spreads.
Oh
So
shit. Okay.
he does
Well,
have an
damn.
element of earth spread. So here's what it looks like. It kind of looks like a T. So you have three cards across the top, and they're all vertical position. And then you have one card below that in a horizontal position. And then the point of that spread is also in the vertical position, and that's right below the rest of the cards.
Hmm.
So we're going to start with card one, which is at the bottom of the T, and that is how to best achieve balance. And then moving up to the card on top of that, the horizontal one, card number two, what is currently holding me back? And then in the middle of the T at the top, it's card number three, how to remain stable and grounded. And then to the left of the three is card four, what do I need to let go of? And then to the right of the three, it's card five, what should I embrace?
Great.
So really cool spread to, I guess, just check in. He does have an earth card, and on his elemental cards, he has the alchemical symbol in front of like kind of the background that kind of matches the element. So, element of earth. Obviously, the keyword on this card is grounding. And the alchemical symbol is the upside down triangle with the line running through its point. And behind that is a beautiful green landscape, very earthy.
Very pretty.
Yeah. So, grounding and survival. Okay. So, the element of earth invites you to slow down. With earth comes bringing stability and growth. This card can also represent your focus on the material aspects of life. Inspired from the Tarot Suit of Pentacles, Earth can also bring light to your current work and money energy. When Earth comes into a reading, ground yourself, connect with Mother Nature, and take into consideration the material aspects of your life. Connect with her nurturing energies. Earth is here to support you in all that you do. It literally does support us, right? You gotta walk on the ground. So it is time to grow. To better connect with Earth, ground yourself. Visualize and wrap your roots around Earth's core. You can also utilize the power of crystals, herbs, and the energy of the card itself. And the mantra is, I grow with the earth.
I like that. Did you want to pull any of those? We can even use his oracle deck and ask those questions for something more simple. I don't know. Oh, it's up to you. It's up to you.
We could maybe do the earth spread over for the Patreon.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because it'll probably be kind of long. It's like 5 cards worth of
Okay, no problem.
So let's maybe put something over on the Patreon for that. But now we're gonna get into elementals. Okay, this is where Gillum.
Gillum. This is where Gillum resides. He is an elemental. He's not gnome. He's not dwarf.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in between, right?
Right. He's a hobgoblin. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about gnomes and dwarves and comparison, and because I don't know what the difference is. I kind of use them interchangeably. I have to send you a picture. It's about a foot tall. I got this little gnome because it's wearing the pointy hat. But the pointy hat is a beehive.
Oh, cute.
Holding a lantern, and it's solar, and there's a little bee like buzzing around him. It's
I
adorable.
love those little garden gnomes. They're
I
so
love them
cute.
too. Mm-hmm.
No, those are expensive, like in stores and stuff.
He was about $10
Okay.
at the dollar store, and I'm
you
like,
got a
I'm
good deal.
getting him. Okay, this has German, so hang tight.
Oh God.
So a gnome is a mythical creature and diminutive spirit in Renaissance magic and alchemy, introduced by Paracelsus in the 16th century and widely adopted by authors, including those in modern fantasy literature. They are typically depicted as small humanoids who live underground. Gnomes' characteristics are reinterpreted to suit various storytellers or artists. Paracelsus's gnome is recognized to have derived from the German miner's legend about Bergmannlein or Diamond Metallicus. Diamond. The metallurgical or mineralogical diamond. Oh. According to George Agricola. Paracelsus uses gnomi as a synonym for, oh God, pygmely.
Pygmy.
Oh, like a little pygmy. Okay,
Yeah.
pygmy. And classifies them as earth elementals. He describes them as 2 spans tall. Not sure what a span is.
See.
They are able to move through solid earth as easily as humans move through air. That's cool.
Okay, so a span is the distance measured by a human hand from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. So that's
this.
big.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay. and hence described as being like a spirit. However, the elementals eat, drink, and talk like humans, distinguishing them from actual spirits. And according to Pericles' view, the so-called dwarf is merely monstra of the earth spirit gnome.
They have
Deformites?
deformities?
What's that mean?
I don't know. The so-called dwarf and merely deformities of the earth spirit? No. So maybe a dwarf is like an earth spirit gnome, but maybe it's deformed in some way. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting from that.
Okay, he's okay, so like a dwarf is like a Professor Xavier mutant of a gnome. He's mutated.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So note that Pericles also frequently resorts to circumlocutions like mountain people. So I guess he calls them mountain people or mountain mannequins to denote the Nomi in the German
Mountain Mountain Alan Menkins.
Cute. Okay, so let's do a little side quest as far as gnomes versus dwarves. When I think of dwarves, I think of like Lord of the Rings and like Hottie Hottie McHottie, Big Daddy Dwarf, whatever it is, and Thorin Oakenshield is who I think
Okay.
of.
I see when I think of dwarves, I just think of Snow White.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
they wear the pointy hats too?
Yeah, they do.
Who was their fashion like trendsetter?
I have no idea.
Is there a purpose?
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
a
Yeah,
cone of power. We had a whole witch hat
that
fucking
is
episode.
that
The
is true.
conical hat of power.
But we didn't talk about dwarves though, or
No, we
gnomes,
didn't.
right?
Mm-mm.
Huh. All right, maybe we'll get to it if we keep reading.
Okay. So in fantasy folklore, while both dwarves and gnomes are often depicted as small, hardy, and skilled, gnomes are generally seen as smaller and more playful, while dwarves are known for their strength, resilience, and craftsmanship, often living underground. Like I think of
Hmm.
like mines, like they're mining
Oh.
diamonds,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Like
that's what the dwarves in Snow White were doing. They're miners, right? That's why
yes.
they sing the whole "Whistle While You Work" song.
Yeah. So dwarves appear typically strong, sturdy, bearded. Some may have long hair. They often are associated with underground strongholds like mines. They're renowned for their craftsmanship, particularly in metalworking and stonework. Generally, they're known for their resilience, practicality, and strong sense of duty. And dwarves originated in Norse mythology as maggots that burrowed into the gods, who then gave them sapience and the gift of metal smithing. So is sapience like Homo sapien, like a brain, like a thinker?
Yeah, like maybe it made them more human.
Okay.
So like the spirit, I guess the spirit, like these dwarves, they burrowed into gods like maggots and then I guess made the gods more human-like.
I
Is what I'm
think
getting
it's
from that?
the gods made the dwarves more human-like.
No, it said dwarves originated in Norse mythology as maggots that burrowed into the gods. So the dwarves are burrowing into the
Who
gods like
then gave them
maggots.
sapience. Well, but the gods are giving the gift of metal smithing to the dwarves.
Who then gave them? Yeah, so it's like an exchange, it seems like. So the
Mm,
the dwarves burrow into the gods, and then the gods gave them back sapience and the
yes,
gift of metal smithing.
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So as far as gnomes, they are smaller than dwarves. Justine told us the span is put your pinky and your other thumb together
Two of
and
those, two spans.
two spans.
They're two
That's
spans,
kind of
yeah.
big.
Well, two of these. That's kind of small for me. I have little hands. I don't know.
Like this?
No, like this, right?
The distance between your thumb and your pinky. This
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that distance here plus another one is about.
Wait, here. Look at this. Hold on.
Okay, give me a picture.
Look
I'm
at this
not
link.
processing.
That's a span
Okay,
in the
hang on.
picture. So you take your thumb and your pinky and you put it together, and that's a span. That measurement in between that distance between your thumb and
One
your pinky.
span is 9 inches,
Okay.
is what it says. So two spans. So they're 18
Roughly.
inches tall.
Yeah, if you don't have little hands like me.
Yeah.
I might be a dwarf or a gnome.
I would put you in gnome territory.
Little pixie.
Gnomes are smaller than dwarves, often with pointy ears and more playful demeanor. While some dwarves live underground, they're also known to inhabit gardens and forests. You can give them a little corner of your own garden if you'd like. They are skilled inventors and trinket like tinkerers, often with a knack for illusion magic. They're Ben Fry.
And they hang out with bunnies.
Oh,
Because it's Ben Fry.
they are known for their curiosity, jovial, and love of nature. Gnomes originated with Pericles in the 16th century and are considered earth elementals. So both dwarves and gnomes are often depicted as small, hardy, and skilled. They both are associated with earth and underground realms, and both are seen as like cousins. They're close cousins in
Okay, but it doesn't
setting.
say like the differences really, right? They seem kind of the same.
Well, one's bigger.
Right, the size.
Gnomes don't work with metal.
Okay.
They're tinkerers. They're
Okay.
inventors, but they don't mine for things, I guess.
So gnomes are more of like the dwarves of the natural world. They're more of like
Yeah.
in nature and forests, and dwarves are more found in mines.
Oh, never mind. I heard of a comparison like dwarves and elves, I guess. Like dwarves are Art Deco and
Okay.
elves are Art Nouveau. Art Deco is like the Great Gatsby, and
Uh-huh.
Art Nouveau is more like the flowy
Yeah, yeah.
French,
Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense if like you know the different aspects of Nouveau and Deco.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of
Moving
makes
on.
yeah. Anyway,
Give me some magic.
in ritual magic, invoking earth often involves the north direction, green or black colors, and the pentacle, which is a pentagram, the star within the circle, as a symbol representing the earth element and its associated energies. The direction is north and commonly associated with earth in many magical traditions. Green and black are often used to represent earth, with green symbolizing growth and nature, and black representing the earth's grounding and stability. The pentacle, or pentagram enclosed in a circle, is a powerful symbol of the earth element, often used in Wicca and paganism and other magical practices. Other associations, as far as the elements go, in some traditions, the pentacle's 5 points represent the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. The Golden Dawn system, the pentacle is used in both the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, the LBRP, and the lesser invoking ritual of the pentagram, the LIRP.
Okay,
What is
Aleister
the Golden
Crowley.
Dawn? Is that like Aleister Crowley?
Yes.
Okay. And then Wicca, pentacles are widely used in Wicca and other pagan traditions as symbols of protection and connection to the earth. And then other meanings, the pentagram itself can represent the divine perfection or mind over matter, depending the orientation. You know what I find so interesting is that like the pentacle or pentagram, whichever one you want to talk about, people, it's like it has such like a stigma around it. Like people
Mhm.
see that star and they're like, witch,
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
really it's just like a witch's crucifix or cross. Like they're just using it as their amulet talisman for
Yeah.
protection,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have the stigma behind it.
Some altar objects for the earth. So we talked about the pentacle, the pentagram, the altar itself, which I guess is like the base for any kind of magical working. A plate, a paten or disc, ceramics, cast metal, coin, rock or stone, dish of soil, sand or salt, food, especially fruits, vegetables or grain foods, flowers or herbs, a cauldron, a labyrinth. The lavender farm that I went to some years ago, they had a whole meditative labyrinth with the rocks and the
That's so
shrubs.
cool.
It was
Mm-hmm.
so pretty, and we would walk it with the goats. It was a lot of fun.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's kind of like Pan's Labyrinth, right? Did you ever see that movie with the mythological
No.
goat beasts and that like underworld? It's so freaking
I
it's
only know the guy with the eyeballs.
yeah, that's in like the underworld. It's fucking bananas. And then we have gems. This says garnet, hematite, jasper, or aventurine. And then candles, green, brown, or black colors. The deity statues of Gaia, Matcha, Saturn, or Kronos, and Pan.
Matcha.
Matcha latte. And it does say, like, it says Pan here. Pan's
Yeah.
Labyrinth. The horn or bone, acorns, seeds, images of trees and mountains, gnomes, animal art with cattle, tortoise, rabbit, or deer. And then any oils you want to use are patchouli, vetiver, and evergreen. I love vetiver. I kind of like vetiver more though when it's diffused. When you're
Mm.
smelling vetiver on its own, it smells really dirty in a sense, like you could smell that it came from the earth.
Okay.
When it's diffused and you transform it, you alchemize it into air at that point. It's got a very like manly cologne kind of earthy scent. It's really
Oh.
nice. It's really nice when it's diffused.
When I visit, gotta do like a side by side for me.
Yeah,
Because
I
I don't
think
know if I've smelled it.
no, I think I appreciate vetiver more when it's in its air element.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Good to know.
So I guess they take vetiver from the earth. It's its earth element. Then they distill it. Then it becomes the water element.
Mm-hmm.
And then you diffuse it and it becomes the air element.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
that.
When they distill it,
They have to use fire to distill it
right,
to
because
make
they
it
have to
hotter.
like make it into steam, right? And then it
Mhm.
drips into the bottle. So it's amazing how it go like something can go from earth to air and it's like
So
all
vodka is like the encompassed because vodka's distilled, right?
is it potatoes? Is it just like
Yeah, like the
potatoes?
potato to the heat to the
Yeah.
air to the water. You're
Yeah.
taking in the elements.
Right. And
We drink alcohol.
distilling, I guess, is just alchemy, right?
It is.
It's
that's
going
cool.
through every single elemental process.
That's so cool.
That is really cool.
You're
Yeah.
so smart.
And like people like don't realize it, but like everything is fucking witchcraft, you know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is. People are drinking vodka. You're a witch.
You putting grape juice around your house?
You're a witch.
Witch.
hate to break it to you. You're a witch. All right, so then moving along, the altar tile decorated with the symbol of Earth, and then tarot using the Ace of Pentacles, or any kind of, I guess, pentacle card, whatever energy you want to hone in on, you could have that card up on your altar space to kind of hone in on those energies.
You can use
So
sticks from a tree,
yeah,
anything.
anything. Acorns. I love collecting stuff from the outside
I
and
know.
incorporating it into my space. Like I told you, I'm a little fairy elf.
You're a tinkerer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some Sabbats. So we have Imbolc, Lunasaw, and Yule. Starting with Imbolc, that falls between February 1st and February 2nd, and it's one of 4 traditional Gaelic seasonal festivals observed by many modern pagans and witches. Imbolc honors Brigid, the Irish goddess of poetry, wisdom, and protection, also known as Saint Brigid or Brigid. The pagan Sabbath's name means in the belly, and it marks a time when domesticated animals are pregnant with milk. It's the beginning of spring on the witch's wheel of the year and the first harvest season after Yule, the harvest being milk. Energetically, it's a wonderful day for cleansing. Think of almost spring cleaning, almost there, for cleansing, purifying, and making way for the new. Manifestation spells performed on this day hold a lot of power. Many covens initiate new members on this day. And in tarot, this card might be represented by the Magician or the Two of Cups. So the next is Lunasa, which falls on August 1st. Did you know that there was a witch's Thanksgiving? Along with the darkness comes the gifts of harvest. This celebration lands on August 1st and ushers in the last 3 of the 4 Gaelic harvest festivals. This Sabbath was named after the Irish god Lugh,
Yeah,
his
Lou.
mother Pelitiu. That's so adorable. And that is an earth goddess as well. This is the time of year when she dies along with the crops. Lugh must battle other deities. Justina made a whole song about this, right? The Ivy King and the Oak King.
Yeah.
This is their battle, their duel, to protect the harvest that she leaves behind. For witches, this is not only a feast day, it's a time when offerings must be made to the earth, giving thanks for all that she has brought to us this year and promising her our protection. Some ways to celebrate this day include canning and preserving food, preparing a feast, and making offerings to the earth in some form, such as you could pour coffee or moon water. You could put your menstrual blood outside, pour it over the earth under the moonlight. You could tend to community gardens, volunteer for environmental justice organizations, or working in community kitchens. In tarot, the festival may translate from the card of 9 of Cups or 6 of Pentacles.
Yeah, this one is also called Lammas, and I think that's more like the Protestant or Christian faith of it. I have a whole book from the Llewellyn Sabbath Essentials. It goes into like the whole connection between Lammas and Lunasa. It's the same thing, but I think when the Anglo-Saxons tried to convert the pagans over to Christianity, I think they called it Lammas to kind of make it easier
Slap a new
for
name
them.
on it.
Yeah, they kind of tried to make it easier for them to transition into other ways, but then like they just like stole the whole fucking tradition.
So what for August 1st in the church then, what do they celebrate?
Let's see. What is
AKA Lammas.
first in
Is it like the Assumption of Mary? No, that's May.
Christian?
Something like that.
It's the feast of Saint Alphonsus Liguori.
That is not it.
No, that's
so
not it at all.
random.
No. What is Lammas? Okay, so yeah, Lammas, also known as Lunasa, is a pagan holiday celebrated August 1st, marking the first harvest and the beginning of the harvest season. Yeah, the Lammas is derived from the Anglo-Saxon phrase meaning half mass or meaning loaf mass, which signifies the first harvest of the season. Like if you think of like a loaf of bread, how they would turn the wheat into the loaf. Yeah, so it's a time of it is like basically the pagan Thanksgiving. It's a time of gratitude, abundance, and a connection to the natural world. And Lammas predates Christian harvest festivals and was important to both Anglo-Saxons and the Celts. It was a time for communities to come together, give thanks for the harvest, and prepare for the upcoming months.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of the 4 greater Sabbats, and that marks the significant point of the wheel of the year. So you have Lammas, which is the first harvest, then you have Mabon, which is the second harvest, and then Samhain is the third and last for the season.
Yeah, so not Saint Alfonso, whatever.
No.
Cousin to Tony, turn her around.
Tony, turn around. Right.
So lastly, Yule is also connected to the earth element. Upon the winter solstice, at around December 21st, Yule begins and lasts until January 1st. This Norse pagan-inspired festival is the modern witches' Christmas time. Think of Christmas trees and all the shit that the Christians stole.
Yeah.
But instead of celebrating the birth of Christ, we celebrate the birth of,
Justina.
yes, our Sag darling goddess.
WJC. Wait, yeah. What would Justina do?
Acronym does not change.
Does not change.
She is our Lord and Savior.
What would Justina do?
Sisters? The birth of the sunlight. Yes, we celebrate the return of the sun. And it doesn't feel like it because you're still in the depths of winter. But yes,
Right.
after the 21st, your days are going to get longer. And, eventually coming back around to the abundance of summer. For
Right.
pagans and witches, it is a time of rest, good tidings, and goodwill towards others. Lots of shadow work during this time. We burn the Yule logs. Bonfires are huge. We decorate these Yule logs with cinnamon and cloves for good luck and long-lasting health, and we feast together yet again. Other customs that make Yuletide special include decorating a Yule tree, building a solstice altar with evergreen branches, lighting candles, and giving natural homemade gifts to friends and loved ones. And as
Yeah.
far as the tarot, the festival at this time can translate into the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups. So abundance,
Yeah,
right? The tens are usually like good, right?
yeah, I'm a winter baby, but I'm not a winter person. I hate the winter. I hate being cold. I hate that it's always dark out. It's depressing. It does nothing for my seasonal depression. But I must say, there is something to be said about that feeling of like warmth and coziness and like all the spices and the
Yeah.
food and like the cozy warm drinks and blankets and the scent of pine. Like I do love all that, you know?
Yeah, balsam is my favorite. That's why we gotta go back to Salem. I'm still rationing that room spray. It's so fucking good.
I need to get me
Summon.
some of that. I was so bummed when we left there and I didn't get that. I forgot. We were supposed to go back and get it and then I forgot. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to wait till the next time. I don't think they sell that on their website.
They
I
do.
looked. They
But
do?
it's 40 some dollars for shipping.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
For shipping?
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
That's
Uh-huh.
insane.
It is.
All right, I
I mean,
guess.
because they're like so like, unique, right? There's just
Yeah.
a small business.
Yeah, but that's a lot for shipping for a small little vial of that shit?
Maybe because it's a liquid and it's glass. I don't know.
I don't
I'll
know.
double check. It was on there. I was gonna order you some, and I was like,
No,
"Sorry, girl."
do not pay $40 for shipping. We'd have a better time going up to Salem, having
I know.
another experience, and then just getting it while we're there. It's fine. There's a
know.
bunch of stuff that I didn't get that last time that we were there that I was like, damn,
Oh
I
my gosh.
got that. But
I
now it
hope-
just gives us a reason to go back, so that's
I
fine.
know. I know. Yeah, talk to me about the fall at some point.
Okay.
We'll talk. But
Hopefully this year we can get more people to meet up with us. I think Mallory said to let her know
yeah,
we're
that
going
would
to
be
be
cool.
there, and hopefully Lori can swing back up there.
That would be so
You know,
cool.
she was there last year for a very brief stint, but
hmm
get back in touch with Kylie and Joyce,
Oh my God.
right?
I cannot believe that the bartender was like, "Oh yeah, I remember them when Lori was like, "Do you know the Stinas from
Yeah.
Magnolia Street?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
us and Rob, we go way back, right?
Rob. Man,
Rob, we
you're
go
good
way
with
back.
names. I don't remember people's names. I wanted to touch back on the senses that are stimulated during Yule. I
Yeah.
don't typically do like a meditation of like finding your safe space, but I told you I was
Mm-hmm.
working with this like navigating grief workbook and it had me do that. I'm like, well, fuck. And I'm like, well, all right. You would think like maybe a garden or a beach or whatever. I was like, the time I feel most like cocooned and safe is like a dark winter night when like the
Uh-huh.
snow is falling soft and
Yeah.
the fire is crackling and I'm warm and cozy and all those smells. That is my safe place
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So I go back there to process things because
right.
you don't have to be anywhere. You're safe and warm in your home. Like great and being grateful for all those things too. And there's good food.
Yeah.
Like that's a safe space.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to be anywhere because you're kind of like isolated. My family lives like 5 minutes away and they're like, "Are you going to be at dinner?" Like, what the I have obligations.
I know.
And that kind of sucks. But like aside from like all that like family bullshit and like the hustle of the holiday season, like did I tell you we like don't really do gifts anymore because I was like, I'm done. It lost its like meaning that time of year, you know? Like people are
Yeah.
so like, give me your Amazon wish list, and I'm like, no, like I
Don't
don't
bother.
want to like put a list together for you to get me something that like I don't really need. Let's just make it about being together and the food and good conversation, and that's it. Like I don't need all that other bullshit. It's too much and it stresses you out, like
It does stress me out because I'm
No.
like, oh, you got me something. I didn't get you anything.
right, and now you feel bad, now you feel guilt because you didn't get the other person anything, right?
Totally. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know, I like the seasonality of it. I do love all the, that coziness that comes with that season, but I don't like the stress of and the obligation of what society
Agreed.
ultimately made that into,
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like bringing it back to the earth, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You agree.
We all agree. I'm moving right into numerology. We talked a little bit about this in an earlier segment, right? When I was talking about Life Path 8 or whatever.
Aren't you an 8?
Yeah.
You are an 8. Okay. Earth sign.
Yeah.
Flash fire.
Yeah, I'm a Life Path 8, but okay, let me see what this has to say about numerology. So this says vibrationally, the element of earth is in alignment. Oh, yeah. Duh. The number 8. Look at that.
Look at that.
This is, well, that makes sense because, like I said, remember, if money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out, right? So it's all about, I guess, the finances or whatever. This is an ideal number for the earth element being a double 4, which brings balance. Well, that's interesting too because I'm all about the fours,
You
right?
are. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Brings balance. In nature, what you sow, you reap. Metaphysically, that ties into our karma. Earth energies will not let you hide from your roots, but they will encourage you to keep the garden of your life free of weeds. I like that. So, where the tarot focused mostly on the worldly aspects of the earth element, numerology looks at the spiritual, the as above, so below aphorism. Nature is not filled with avarice, it simply recognizes needs. What do you need? What do you want? These are two very different questions, and the element of earth always brings you back to the more important question of necessities.
I don't know a whole lot about the numerology, but I remember
Yeah.
that like our little minds were blown to, I don't remember who we were talking to. Karen
Mhm.
Awad, I think. And we were talking
Oh,
about numerology and you were talking about your fours and then we did your life number
that's
and
right.
it was an 8 and she was like, but what does that subtract into? You
Right.
know,
The four.
four. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Do you remember what yours was?
3. I'm a
You're
3.
a three? Yeah, you're all about the threes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
The earth element can be represented by wolf, the bear, gopher, the worm, the stag, the bison, ants, and all animals that burrow under the soil.
The worm, the mighty worm doing its work down there. If your garden's got worms,
Mm-hmm.
you're in good luck.
Yeah, I always try to leave them alone. Like when I'm like digging in the garden and I see a little earthworm popping up, I
I do a big
gently
work.
move him out of the way
I do too.
because I don't want to like cut him in half with my shovel, you
I
know?
know.
I don't
Yeah.
want to pillage them. Recently, there was like a rainy day that I was picking Bella up at school. The school has a garden like along the side of like the schoolyard or whatever. And there was like a big puddle in the middle of the pavement, like the sidewalk where all the parents stand to pick up the kids. And there was just like this little earthworm in the middle of this pool of water, almost getting stepped on by people. And I was like, oh no.
Did you save him?
So I took him and I put him in the garden,
That's nice.
moved him to the garden. I was like, here you go, little worm. Be free.
Good deed.
Yeah, I was like, that's my good deed for the day. Let's save an earthworm.
Mhm.
So plants is represented by wheat, barley, sage, corn, ivy, mugwort spice, oak, patchouli, potatoes, moss, and any kind of ground cover, really. So I guess like a phlox, maybe.
Clovers.
Clover. Right. So realistically, any color found in nature can represent Earth. However, the most common hues used to symbolize Earth energies are brown, black, and green. And then seasonally, in esoteric traditions like Wicca, sometimes the symbol for the element of Earth comes out of nature's reflections. The orange gold of fall or the clean white of winter when Earth rests are two examples. This is purely a personal choice. Listen to the land and let it guide you. And then some Earth practices for listeners. Working with the elements in magic and ritual calls for more than just book knowledge. It asks for a personal, intuitive connection. While studying earth, air, fire, water, and spirit is essential, it's just as important to cultivate your own relationship with each element through experience, observation, and presence. Most of us already have an element that resonates more deeply, calling to us in ways we may not fully understand. That's often the place to begin. As you lean into that connection, you can begin exploring the elements that feel less familiar, gradually bringing your spiritual understanding into a greater balance.
Even if you want to simplify it even more, get yourself a salt scrub and just scrub yourself down in the shower. Like, that feels so good. And you're, just kind of taking the earth in that way. We are going to have a salt episode at one point,
Or like an
right?
earth clay mask or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
yeah. That would be really nice. My Virgo rising, which is kind of like what people see, they're like, that's how you're perceived, right on point with the earth through and through. Like,
Yeah.
favorite color green, always outside, always eating the veggies, always cooking the good things. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty in touch. I don't know about the Aquarius side. I don't get that moon. I don't understand it.
A moon is an air sign that kind of has the water aspects, right? It's like the water bearer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know too much about Aquarius either.
I don't know, but I definitely vibe all of my like my phone case, my iPod case, iPad case,
Is
all
green
green. Yeah,
all green?
all
Yeah.
green.
Yeah. I'm definitely been feeling a pull to green lately too. Like I love my pink space. And this is like full on Sagittarius in here, but like everywhere else in my house is very earthy. Like everything is like very warm browns and like rich tones, and like the walls are that dark green, and I definitely have like a balance of that going on. So as far as crystals and stones, this can be represented by coal, copper, emerald, halite, hematite, iron ore, picture jasper, jet, peridot, petrified wood, salt, and green tourmaline. As far as obsidian, I always call Coraline my little obsidian because she looks like a little black crystal, but when you put her in the sunlight, she's got the gold flecks that come through. Obsidian is a captivating volcanic glass that has long been revered for its deep black color, sharp edges, and incredible healing properties. But what truly sets obsidian apart from other stones, with its rich history, diverse range of colors, and powerful energy, obsidian has the potential to transform not only our physical well being, but also our mental and spiritual health. It has the potential to reduce stress and anxiety. Obsidian can be harnessed for protection, grounding, tranquility, and personal growth through cleansing and charging rituals, incorporating it into personal space. Next, we have hematite, and this is an iron-based mineral that's actually chemically the same as common rust, according to crystal expert Julia Van Doren of Goldie Rocks on Instagram. Yeah. It's originally a rusty red color, gets its distinctive metallic gray sheen when polished, and is found in Brazil, Canada, England, the US, Venezuela, and more. Hematite's name literally means bloodstone, as it comes from the Greek word for blood, haima, Van Doren says, adding that it's long been revered by many cultures for protection. Roman and Native American warriors would paint themselves blood red with powdered hematite for protection in battle, she tells MBG. Of all its properties, hematite is probably most well known as a grounding stone with strong associations to the root chakra. As Askinosi tells MBG, hematite can help ground the mind, body, and spirit thanks to its connection to nature and Mother Earth. When you feel like the rug has been pulled out from under you, hematite can help you get back on your feet again, she says. And it also has uses in mindfulness and protection. And next we have moss agate. And this is a form of chalcedony included in the agate family. It is a semi-precious stone made from silicon dioxide. Moss agate has green colored minerals throughout which look like moss. It also has brown or black shades in the patterns. Moss agate has a meaning that is about uplifting and soothing. It's the gemstone of Mother Gaia. So get closer to nature with the earthy treasure of the moss agate stone. Green colors capture the natural vibes of this gardener's delight variety of chalcedony. This sweet stone can be found across the globe, from the USA to the velvet green depths of Brazil, the farm-heavy places of India, Uruguay, and South Africa, the dusty red roads of Australia, and the far-flung regions of Russia. Since as far back as the 18th century, British farmers turned to this stone in the belief that it would attract prosperity to the land. European farmers would hang the moss agate stone from the branches of their trees and from the horns of their cattle, believing that this good luck talisman would bring a bountiful harvest.
That's cute.
Yeah, that
I
is
like
cute.
that. I have a moss agate worry stone,
Do
and I
you?
love it so very much. Yes, it has like
Mm.
a very tiny little like spot on it,
Oh, that's so
but it
pretty.
is green and it's got a little divot for rubbing. Yeah, I love it.
Nice. You put the moss agate in one hand and the tiger's eye in the other,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you
Oh my God,
go.
I'm earthed up right now.
Just rub them on your temp. She's putting them on her eyeballs.
Balls.
Rub them on your
Oh my goodness.
temples.
This is a
Hold,
great way to ground. I'm
hold
just
them
gonna
in your
do that. I'm
palm.
sticking them in my
Yeah.
bra.
Put one on each nipple.
Yeah. Aaron's gonna be
It's
like, what are those?
like a third nipple.
Like they're beautiful.
All right, next one is Green Aventurine. Did you listen to that episode of Wabab when they did the
Yeah.
Aventurine? And they both, you know how they're supposed to come to the table with different topics?
They
They
both
both
came with
they
this.
both picked the same thing.
And then
Thought
they
that
had
was
to
the
do like a drunken episode.
It was the funniest fucking episode. Green aventurine is a silicon dioxide mineral and a member of the quartz family. Green aventurine provides strength, confidence, courage, and happiness. It renews one's optimism for life and pushes us to take action to acquire what we want in this world. This stone urges one to get out of their comfort zone and take on new opportunities. Allow the stone to take you on an adventure and help you grow as an individual, which is like, isn't it aventurine? I don't think there's a D in there.
Aventurine.
No,
Oh
but
yeah, the very first one is spelled wrong.
yeah,
Right.
it's aventurine, but this says it takes you on an adventure.
Yeah.
So green aventurine is here to keep your emotional body calm when trying things that may be uncomfortable at first. Those nervous butterflies in your stomach will be replaced by an ever-burning fire that is eager to burn. This crystal is here to help you enjoy life while sharing your energy and experiences with those closest to you. Your friends will begin to see the changes you've made and be motivated to follow your approach. This will cause a chain reaction of positivity that will change both your life and those who you love most. And the next one is Tiger's Eye. Like,
Speaking of a situation.
speaking of a situation, yeah, we're going to talk about that. So, since we're on the topic of crystals, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Jillian's Tiger's Eye, her pendant, and why she might wear that. Tiger's Eye is believed to offer various metaphysical properties, including boosting self-confidence, enhancing mental clarity, promoting grounding and protection. It is also associated with attracting abundance, success, and good luck, and some believe it can help with decision-making, courage, and overall balance. But I wanted to talk more specifically about its properties of grounding and protection. Tiger's Eye is considered a grounding stone, providing a sense of stability and protection against negative energies, but like now that we're on the topic of Earth and analyzing it in all its sneaky moments in the film, is this even more proof that Jillian is actually astral projecting in that bathroom scene right before she goes to visit her sister? I feel like her Tiger's Eye is her tether to the Earth when she goes on her astral travels. Tiger's Eye is also used for spiritual discernment and with deepening meditation. It is often associated with increased psychic abilities, including astral projection, due to its connection to the third eye chakra. It's believed to enhance intuition, mental clarity, and emotional balance, which can be beneficial for those practicing astral projection. Additionally, Tiger's Eye is thought to help ground and center the individual, making it easier to maintain focus and intention during the astral projection process.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting how the Tiger's Eye is like kind of like dual purpose? Like it grounds, but it's also tied to the astral projection
Yeah,
plane?
as above, so below.
Right, yeah. I thought that was just so wild because,
I
like,
like that.
usually when you hear of astral projection, you think of like amethyst or some kind of like blue stone, I don't know, like something that's blue is usually tied to the third eye.
Just seeing like it as a string, it can span both realms.
Right, from the root right up through the
Right up, right
Right.
up there.
Yeah, so here's a more detailed breakdown of the tiger's eye. As far as its connection to the third eye, it's associated with intuition, clairvoyance, and psychic abilities. Opening and aligning the third eye chakra is believed to facilitate astral travel and other psychic experiences. A tiger's eye is also seen as a grounding stone, which can be crucial for astral projection as it helps maintain focus and prevent the individual from feeling disoriented during the process. Again, it's tethering Jillian to Earth while she's doing that. By promoting intuition and mental clarity, tiger's eye can aid in the ability to visualize and navigate the astral plane more effectively. How do you think she gets back and forth from Southwest to Magnolia Street so quickly in one night?
Why
right?
can't they do that with the body?
Right?
She can't take passengers, I guess.
Like who's she gonna take? Jimmy?
Jimmy's dead body out of there.
Jimmy's in the other room. Like, why can't we
No,
go
I mean, like,
together?
how come she couldn't use it again after they killed him?
Oh,
To like,
yeah.
yeah.
If you notice, I think I do mention this. Okay, I do mention it after I'm done with this part. So we'll get to
Okay.
that in a second. Yeah, so it helps her navigate the astral plane more effectively. Tiger's Eye is also believed to help with emotional stability and balance, which can be important for maintaining composure during astral projection. In the context of astral projection, tiger's eye may be used to prepare for a projection. Holding or wearing tiger's eye before attempting astral projection can help calm the mind and enhance intuition. It also helps to maintain focus. And then after the experience, meditating with the tiger's eye can help recall details and insights gained during astral travel. We know Jillian meditates, right? We see her trying to meditate in the attic scene when Sally goes up to her to frantically think of a cover story when Gary's waiting downstairs. I checked the attic scene. Jillian is not wearing the tiger's eye in this scene, which is interesting.
What?
Yeah, she's not wearing it in that attic scene, and I don't think she wears it again since she finds it. Remember when she's looking for it, when she's like, oh, blood on the moon, where's my tiger's eye? When Sally goes to save her at the motel, she finds it, she takes it off the rearview mirror, right? She's excited that she finds it. Jimmy kidnaps them, and then we don't see her wear it again for the rest of the movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
I don't think
So
we did.
weird.
We might have talked about that in the Tiger's Eye episode that we did,
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
that. Okay. Mind blower.
Right. I was like, what the hell? So she's not wearing the tiger's eye in that attic scene, which is interesting because she's definitely wearing it in the bathroom scene right before she looks into the mirror and closes her eyes as if she's about to go into this meditative state before astral projecting. Remember when she goes to see Sally? So perhaps the fact that she abandons wearing it pretty much after she made a big deal about misplacing it in the Blood on the Moon scene, maybe that's the reason she goes off the rails through the rest of the movie. Perhaps even why she was more susceptible to Jimmy's possession, because she wasn't wearing her tiger's eye, number one, to keep her grounded, but also to keep her protected by those spiritual entities.
Wild. I need to rewatch this. How is she not wearing it? Even when she comes downstairs in her little skimpy snake ensemble.
Nope.
That's weird.
Not
Okay.
wearing it.
It's like
Yeah.
a Mandela effect.
A Mandela effect? Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So we really don't see it again on her for the rest of the movie? I guess it would make sense, like,
If she dropped it in the car, it's in the
maybe
car.
in the scuffle, yeah, it must have been in that car.
Yeah.
And then if Gary took the car away,
Bye. It's gone.
it's gone. But like, also, wouldn't that be taken as evidence then?
Well, he knew she was driving the car.
Yeah,
So she could have just like dropped it, whatever.
that's true.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I just thought that was interesting. So maybe, yeah, maybe she misplaced it in the scuffle, and then it's gone, and then she doesn't have it anymore. That's why, like,
Things are spiraling.
she's out of body. Exactly. Like Jimmy, it is now has full possession over her, and I'm sure spiritually she's just like completely untethered, right? So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like why she would go off the rails because she wasn't wearing it for the rest of the movie.
Is she wearing any jewelry at the end when she's in the garden, like with her hat?
I don't know if you could see because she's dressed so conservatively that like you can't really see anything else on her. I don't
Gotcha.
think.
I
I'll
wanna
have to take
I
another
know
look.
it's Sally who wears like the little beaded thing.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this together again.
Yeah, there's always stuff that like you miss,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
If you're not looking for it, it's so easy to miss these things.
Like the Dunkin' Donuts bag.
The Dunkies, exactly.
Yeah, I lost my spot. Okay. Yeah, let's do some chakra now.
Okay.
So how would you pronounce this? Muladhara?
Muladhara.
Muladhara. The root chakra is connected with survival, security, and grounding, also known as root of existence. Mula means root, and Dahara means flux. The root chakra is one of the 7 primary chakras, according to Hindu Tantrism. It's symbolized by a lotus with 4 petals and the color pink or red. Think of the rainbow, right? It's starting at the bottom. Muladhara is considered the foundation of the quote energetic body. Yogic systems stress the importance of stabilizing this chakra. Kundalini awakenings begin here. We talked about this a little bit with the snake, the serpent, the Kundalini snake that rises. Yogic systems stress the importance of stabilizing the chakra. Did I already read that? Yes, I did. It is also, it's late. It is
Yeah.
also known as the seat of the red bindu, or subtle drop, which rises up with the white bindu in the head to unite the feminine and masculine energies, the Shakti and the Shiva. An imbalanced root chakra may manifest in various ways. Physically, people might experience lower back pain, fatigue, or digestive issues, ma'am. Emotionally, they may feel anxious, fearful, or disconnected. Understanding these symbols is crucial for recognizing the root chakra and its need for attention.
Let me tell you, I know my root chakra is blocked. Blocked. Most like money scarcity mindset around like blockages around money are all stem from the root. And
I got that problem too.
I know my shit's blocked. But like I do experience a lot of lower back pain and a lot of digestive issues. Well, my lower, like I have like sciatic pain and like my fucking liver is just like, fuck you. So, you know, I'm like, yeah, maybe I need to work on opening my root chakra. That's definitely, I gotta focus on that.
So some associated organs are the system, are the bones, legs, and lower back. And foods that nourish this energy center are root vegetables and grains. I know people who will do like a day they eat only red things, you know, to enforce that root chakra, and then it's orange things the next day, and then
I've
yellow.
heard about that.
Yeah, I think that's
Does
kind
that
of cool.
work? Does that work though?
I have no idea. I gave up by day 3.
Oh, you tried it?
Yeah.
Wait, did you start from the root up?
Yeah, hot
Wait.
Cheetos, apples, licorice sticks.
Wait, I don't know if it works like that. Are you supposed to eat like whole foods or
No, you're supposed to eat like good food.
okay?
But maybe like a pasta sauce would be okay, you know?
Yeah, okay. Right.
Anyway, So, some signs and symptoms of a blocked root chakra. There's emotional symptoms. Food, water, shelter, and survival are our primary needs. The main responsibility of this energy center is to satisfy these basic needs. Overeating, hoarding of material items, and greed for money are a few negative expressions for survival. These are all signs of an imbalance. Check, check, check. Okay. When our basic survival needs are not met, Muladhara becomes dysfunctional and causes a disconnection from our earthly values. As a result, people with a root chakra blockage or imbalance tend to experience a range of negative emotional symptoms, which some include hoarding of material items, grief for money and materialism, lack of ambition and direction, insecurity, disconnection and isolation, anxiety, depression, and self-pity. There's physical symptoms as well. When the first energy center is blocked and imbalanced, it can cause mental stress. So even that, like, even though it's physically or like visually you're experiencing my root chakra is kind of in my core or my taint, it still affects your mental state.
Yeah.
The stress up there.
Right.
It's like the tiger's eye,
Right, yeah.
which is visible through one's physicality. The physical symptoms of a blocked root chakra are lethargy, panic attacks or anxiety, digestive disorders, health problems in the colon, bladder, and lower back, unexplained aches and pains in the body, in the lower abdomen and pelvis, reproductive issues, insomnia, and excessive sleeping. So, the root chakra healing, how do you unblock this and balance it out?
Tell me. I need to know.
Okay. The Muladhara chakra is believed to be the survival center, making it the most instinctual of all the chakras. Stabilizing the foundation of the body is important to sense completeness. Identifying and working on your chakras regularly ensures proper root chakra healing. There are several ways to unblock a root chakra. Grounding chakra meditations and yoga practices are both effective ways to encourage physical and mental strength in the body. Repeating affirmations for the root chakra also helps set positive intentions that break old habits and forge better ones. And we have some balancing techniques that you can practice daily. So some affirmations for strength and stability are: I feel safe and secure, I have deep roots, I am grounded, I have found my peace, I trust more, I am fearless, I have self-love, and I take care of my well-being. I am open to all possibilities. The earth provides a safe place for me. I have abundance in my life. I love my body and trust its wisdom. And I trust the universe to support me.
Those are nice.
Those are nice. You can
Yeah.
write a new one on your whiteboard every day.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I need to do more chakra meditations.
I'm
Yeah,
so out of whack, man.
me too. I feel like the only thing like I have going for me is my throat chakra. I don't shut the fuck up. This shit's wide the fuck open.
Good.
Oh man. All right, so let's talk about chocolate as a grounding tool. I think we touched on the chocolate a little bit earlier. So let's talk about how the aunts use the chocolate as a grounding medicine and how these iconic breakfast brownies in Practical Magic are so much more than just a quirky indulgence. The aunts, I think, they use chocolate as a spiritual grounding tool. I think that's what they're actually doing when they're like, hey, let's eat the brownies for breakfast. It's not just indulgent. Chocolate, the real dark unprocessed cacao, has long been revered in spiritual and magical traditions as a sacred plant medicine. In ancient Mesoamerican cultures, cacao was consumed during rituals to connect the heart and the body to awaken joy and presence. It was believed to be a gift from the gods, something that bridges the earthly with the divine, but always keeps you rooted in your humanness. Spiritually speaking, chocolate helps ground us in a few key ways. First, there's the heart-body connection. Chocolate contains theobromine, which stimulates the heart and creates a sense of warm, gentle alertness, not like caffeine, but more like a spiritual hug. It keeps you present in your body. So like some people will like replace their morning coffee with like a cacao ritual, and that's supposed to be a lot better for you, you know? Not even just physically, but spiritually as well.
Even though in that first scene when the girls are at the table, like they're not spiraling out of control, they're not astral projecting, but they're so in their minds about this curse that I think the aunts wanted to pull them back. So even internally, like your mind is out of control a little bit, even as little girls, like they're stressing, they just lost their parents and now they're being picked on. Like the chocolate is grounding them back in the present. And I love
That's
that.
a good point. I never thought of that before. Yeah, because like right before the aunts are like, in this house we have chocolate cake for breakfast. Right before that, yeah, the girls are kind of like sullen and very melancholy and like, you know.
Totally.
So not only like a nice little sweet treat pick me up, but also like spiritually as well. It's just bringing
The
them
aunts
back.
knew. They just knew.
they know those things, right? That's why we love them.
We love them.
All right, so moving on to sensory anchoring. The rich smell, the silky melts, the bittersweetness on the tongue, all of it pulls you into your senses. Sensory experiences are one of the most direct pathways to grounding. So chocolate comes from the cacao tree. It's a fruit, a seed, a gift of earth. Eating chocolate mindfully is a way to commune with the element of earth through taste and pleasure. What is the lyric in our song Brownies for Breakfast? The last like chorus, it's like brain
Not
dead.
considered indulgent, it's more like self-care.
Bing bing bing.
Okay.
Chan
Sensational.
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing, that's it. So lastly, it uses joy as a rooting force. Grounding doesn't always have to be serious. It can come through laughter, sweetness, indulgence, and saying yes to the moment. Chocolate reminds us that delight is sacred. It really
Dude, do you
is.
ever laugh like so hard? I know I do with you, but
Yeah.
like you just laugh and laugh and laugh, and that come down is like you're exhausted and you just like float your ass back down to to planet Earth.
Yeah, that's like in the Midnight Margarita scene when they're all cackling around that table. And then once they come down from that laughter high, it's like real life
Real life.
shit smacked
Hmm.
them right in the fucking face.
Yeah.
It got real serious real fast.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So not only do the aunts use chocolate as a spiritual grounding tool, they also use chocolate as a ritual of rebellion and comfort. Okay, so let's revisit that whimsical, unforgettable moment when they say the brownies for breakfast. Jet and Francis aren't just being cheeky, they're offering the girls something they didn't have in their grief: pleasure, safety, and embodiment. Grief makes us float. You disassociate, you numb out, you lose track of time. And what do the aunts do? They bring the girls back to earth with the chocolate, just like you said before, Kristina. The chocolate acts as a grounding element in several layers. First, we have sensual grounding. The rich, warm taste of brownies, right when your world feels cold and empty, it reminds the girls that life can still hold sweetness. And then emotional grounding. The aunts break the rules of mourning and invite comfort. This says, you are safe, you are home, you are still allowed to feel joy.
Oh,
How cozy is a tray full of like freshly baked brownies, right?
dude, I'll take a brownie over cake
Same.
every day, twice on Sundays. I love
So
brownies.
so you like the fudgier brownies, not the cake brownies?
Right. I like a little walnut in my brownies now and
Ooh.
again.
Yeah, a
Ah,
little crunch. Yeah, I like that too. And then we have ancestral grounding. The brownies, like the garden or the family spells, become a ritual passed down, a memory the girls carry with them, something physical that tethers them to their childhood and to the magic of being loved. And honestly, chocolate is earth. Okay, it grows from the earth, it feeds the body, it nourishes the spirit. It's a sacred indulgence, a spell of softness in a hard world. So those brownies were more than just a quirky breakfast. They were a spell of grounding, of joy, of resistance. A reminder that magic doesn't always look like fire and potions. Sometimes it's just sitting at a kitchen table, licking chocolate from your fingers or a wooden spoon, right? And
yeah.
remembering that you are allowed to be here and be
I
present.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Our
So,
brownies for breakfast songisode was songisode number 3, and that was episode 37, if y'all want to go listen to that. And then chocolate was right before that. So if you want more a grounding and to hear our song, Brownies for Breakfast, go
right.
check it out. And
Yeah,
Brownies is one of the songs that made it on our first EP.
that's right.
Very
Yeah.
special. Very,
Yeah.
very special.
A lot of
And
special moments surrounding the brownies.
do you remember Mike like kind of like getting serious for a moment? He was like, "This is like a really good song." He
Yeah,
was really like, "No, you have like a really good song here."
I love that.
And he hears music all the time.
I know. That was very flattering coming from him. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he probably hears so many people like
He's like, "This could
compare
be
their music.
like a radio hit."
I hope so.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, that song will be on our first album with 4 other songs, and we're hoping to release that on the summer solstice this year. So
I hope
we'll
so.
yeah, get that going. Mark that date on your calendar. We'll make it happen.
Okay.
We've made everything else happen. I mean,
We're gonna have to do a grounding ritual before that
we
drops because we are gonna be outrageous. So what can we do for
A
that?
this brownie grounding ritual right here
Yeah.
that I'm about to tell you. This is the Aunts Brownie grounding ritual, courtesy of JetBT. So a recipe for coming back to your body, softening into sweetness, and remembering the joy that is sacred. You can use this when you're feeling untethered or anxious, or you need to come back to the present moment, or you want to conjure comfort and earth energy through your senses, or if you just need brownies for breakfast.
Hmm.
So, some of the magical and mundane ingredients, you're going to need a half cup or 1 stick unsalted butter. So, okay, it tells you what each ingredient kind of does magically. So,
Okay.
the butter softens your
Love it.
resistance to change. And then you're going to use 1 cup of sugar, and this sweetens your thoughts. You're going to use 2 eggs. This is a binding energy. 1/3 cup unsweetened cocoa powder. And this is just your pure earth magic, okay? This is gonna really ground you. A half cup of flour. This is gonna be your foundation and your structure. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's your protection and your purification. A 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, rising above the heaviness. This is your rising agent. Then you're
Love
gonna
it.
use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for comfort and memory. And then this is optional, a little pinch of cinnamon or espresso powder for warmth and clarity. And then this is what you're going to do for your ritual. So set the scene, light your candle, preferably brown, green, or gold. Take a grounding breath and place your bare feet on the floor or the soil if you do this outside. And say aloud, with every stir and every bite, I root myself in sweetness and safety. And mix the ingredients, and as you stir, imagine your energy spiraling downward out of your head and into your body. And let yourself be present in the textures and aromas. Add each ingredient with intention. When you add the butter, say, I allow myself to soften. When you add your sugar, say, I welcome in the sweetness. When you add your eggs, say, I bring myself back together. When you add your cocoa, say, I return to the earth. When you add your flour, say, I stand on solid ground. When you add your salt, say, I am protected. And when you add your vanilla, say, I am home. So bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. And while they bake, sit quietly, ground your energy by pressing your palms into your thighs or placing your hands on your belly and your heart. Feel your breath and be present. And then when they're done, let them cool off a little bit, and then you can eat them mindfully. Take a bite slowly, let the chocolate melt on your tongue, feel the earth in your body, and then say, I am rooted, I am whole, I am here. And then you can offer thanks. You can leave a crumb or a small piece in your garden, a houseplant, or near your door as a thank you to the earth. And it says, she caught you after all. And
Oh.
then there are some optional add-ons. You can infuse your brownies with dried rosemary or lavender for extra grounding and magical oomph, and share with a friend or a child because comfort multiplies when given. It also, I asked it to make me a offering card,
Hmm.
so we can add this to our Patreon. It made up a little recipe card for the grounding ritual,
It's
and
very pretty.
it is very pretty, but ChatGPT is a little unhinged because it made all the ingredients like gibberish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's like Greek.
I'm gonna have to redesign this. So
It's
yeah.
very, I like the sepia. It's like a
Yeah.
tan background with brown lettering and a border and
Yeah.
a little illustration of a mixing bowl. This would be easily tailored
Oh
with the
yeah.
accurate ingredients.
Right. Yeah. I think I prompted ChatGPT to redo it for me, and like I was like, "Can you do this again and fix the gibberish?" I
Okay.
think it did it, but I have to re-download the card. That's all I got. Do you have anything else before we head out?
No, I love that. But next week we want to do a song episode. We
Hmm.
have a special guest for May, and we also want to do a big salt episode, I think.
Yeah, a lot of
Cool.
good stuff coming up.
Hopefully next month we can also do our next element, which we haven't decided which way we're going yet, right?
Right. It might be
Cool.
cool to do fire in June because that's
I was
solstice.
thinking air in May because
Hmm.
Gemini. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then fire in June and water in July because you need that. You need that.
Mermaid energy.
Yeah, you need to be at the beach.
Interesting. Mermaid or July has always been, I've always considered July like mermaid month.
Okay,
Yeah, so
perfect.
that works
Mermaid month.
perfect. And then
Is it because the Y is kind of like a tail?
no, but that's cute. I like that. Yeah, I don't know, because I always consider July like the beachy month,
Mhm.
you know?
Agreed.
And then maybe we could save spirit for October for Samhain.
Okay. Sounds
So,
good.
all right. So, with that said, if you guys do want to support the podcast on Patreon, you can support us for as little as $1 a month. That's our seedling tier, and that gets you access to our patron only polls where you get to weigh in on what topics you would like us to talk about next. It also gets you our monthly calendar so you can see what topics we have coming up for the month, and it also gets you a welcome shout out on the show. Our $3 Lavender Bud tier gets you our show notes for each episode in an aesthetically pleasing PDF, our after hours posts, if there's any extra tidbits or behind the scenes info pertaining to any of our episodes, we'll post those along with a blog post or extra photos, and access to our specially curated Spotify playlists. We have created playlists for our WMSR episodes as well as Production Dream playlists for each song episode, and more. Our $5 Lilac tier gets you access to our private Facebook community where we host a monthly live stream. Plus, you'll get access to our Discord server where we host our monthly watch parties. And also on the Discord, you can join in on the discussion with other Magnolia Street neighbors via the various interesting channels and threads. And then here's the $8 Rose tier. This gets you access to extra audio visual content such as a once a month full-length video episode, unlimited bonus videos, uncut footage, cutting room floor footage, bloopers, outtakes, meditations, exclusive interviews, and old home videos from the vault, or spell or ritual videos, and more. It also gets you bonus content to coincide with our song-episodes, such as full-length demo streams of our original Practical Magic inspired music, plus lyric sheets, guitar chords, and original scratch demos, or bonus video performances of our songs and more. Lastly, we have our $15 Wisteria Vine tier. Just like a twisting Wisteria Vine, there's a way for you to stay connected with us, the Stinas. In this tier, we invite you to join our private Marco Polo video messaging app. The app is totally free for both Android and iOS. Sign up with your phone number or email, and we will help you do the rest. This is a great way to chat with each other in a more intimate group setting, face-to-face via video recording. We love to show each other our pets, our gardens, or anything else you'd like to share. And just a reminder that the higher the tier you sign up under, the more rewards you get, because you get all of the rewards of the tiers below it. You can upgrade or downgrade or even cancel at any time. So to support the podcast, head to patreon.com/Magnolia Street Podcast.
Yeah, and there are additional ways to support us and our podcast that don't cost you any money. If you do listen on Spotify, please give us a star rating. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us a written review. We love sharing those on our Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, we would really appreciate any reposts or blurbs about our podcast. And make sure to tag us at Magnolia Street Podcast in your feed, posts, stories, and share us with your Practical Magic loving friends. Thanks for joining us again this week. Make sure you leave us a review or stars, or just say hi to us over on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that's all we have, but go eat some chocolate. Use our brownies ritual that we just told you and let us know how that goes. If you guys try that out. I hope ChatGPT gave correct ingredients instructions for everything. I hope it doesn't come out like shit.
I want to know what y'all's favorite grounding food is. What do you go to like a comfort food? It could be your favorite comfort food, and that is your grounding. Bring you back to home.
What do you usually like to eat?
Ooh, I like a mac and cheese.
I was
or
gonna
a
say
beef
that.
stew. Were you?
I was gonna say mac and cheese, yeah, but like I can't really eat that right now,
I
so
know.
I'm like,
I like a stew because you can make it all from things in your garden.
That's
Plus
true.
a cow.
Bless a cow. That's true.
And what more earth animal is there?
That is absolutely true. All right, everybody.
Christina.
I'm Justina.
We'll see you next
next
time.
time.
At the house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow out? At the house of magic and mystery, so would you go down to Magnolia Street?
You need to go touch grass. Go touch grass or something.
Yes. Get your feet in some dirt, bitch.
I love telling people to go touch grass, right?
Yo, fucking it up for all the people that's in the streets.
Christina's just gonna keep singing until the garbage truck is gone.
This is a song for the people in the streets, not the people city hall. I don't want to get sued.
It's fine. Not if we get sued. It's fine that you're. I mean, we're not like actually like playing the song on the air. So
I mean, from all the other shit we've spliced into our episodes, take your pick.
I know. Really.
Bring out the olives.
Bring out the olive, or let's clean house.
Right.